Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of guys gather in flat and play Dungeons and Dragons. Woohoo! Tonight we are only with 3 players and me, but you know, things change. We are also playing on a Saturday, right?
Oh, it's not Friday?
Well, that's a good thing because it means we survived until Friday and then we got past it, despite you and I trying very hard to destroy things.
I'm boo-boo from that.
You knocked your callus off, did you?
It knocked all of them off.
Oh dear. So, yes, here we are. We have 3 people tonight.
What could possibly go wrong?
How average?
Is this you trialing your new D20s?
Yeah, well, 2 10s.
Ah, nice.
I'll take that.
Connor, what could possibly go wrong with 3 players?
Matt and Sam, I think?
Yeah.
Oh no, Matt and Percy.
Alrighty. So, where we last left off, you guys had been travelling through Alfheim, doing your various bits and pieces, and then trying to rescue Alfheim, generally from devils.
I mean, you say try, and I think we're doing a very good
I
job.
mean, you've done pretty well. You've destroyed 2 of the lighthouse beacons that are causing problems, and you have indeed moved on to the 3rd. Ghosts! Moved on to the 3rd, which is in the capital city of Andlang. No.
Vidblaine.
Vidblaine.
I was going to say, Anlag.
Andlang's where you started.
Completed it, mate.
Good. Having
Do a level up now.
No. Having met with Duranalis and the old Legion of Storms with you, and also meeting up with an old friend, Nordak Eversharp, with his Hammer of the Rules. Calatar does not like Nordak Eversharp
God, I hate that guy.
because he arrested him, and then he lied to him about what his name was. And then he immediately turned out to be the person that was employing you.
Yeah.
That went poorly for you.
It's entirely your fault.
No, I'm not getting into that argument.
I wouldn't, because Connor's
We'll be here for
stronger
a
than
while.
you. Yeah, we would. But you were sent with the with the group of Valkyries and Inheya to march upon the arcane school.
I'm glad I'm not the guy. Alright.
Let's stop.
Now, ladies.
Yeah.
So you went through into the doors of Seda Alfar, leaving it frozen behind you, and you are now within the school, trying to make your way up to find Lady Shea of Ruin. You assume, or at least to try and stop the 3 beams of light that are coalescing in the city square from causing whatever the fuck they're going to cause.
We don't know what they cause.
You don't know what they cause. It's just 3.
Why are we so bothered about them? They could just be
Well,
like little
they're not
lights.
Let's put it this way. Probably a bad thing.
Anything that
We don't like it being bad things.
Anything that happens here is a bad thing.
Anything you guys turn to is
Yeah.
a bad thing. Anyway, so that is where you pick up. So where you are at the moment, you are inside the school building where you're essentially at what looks to be a T section along there. Long corridor with doors either side of you. You've got on your... where's my diagram? There it is. You've got 2 doors. One to your left, one to your right, and then it goes down to the T and splits off. On the doors are written in Yorvikian, which only Asher can read. The door on the left says Study Hall. The door on the right says Abjuration.
Now, who's controlling Fee again? Is that you? Fee's been here before.
That's true. Fee has been here before.
Kafina looks around. This looks different.
Of course it does. So, study hall or abjuration? Abjuration seems like an odd thing to write on a door.
It's a school of magic.
I imagine there's some names of other forms of magic on other doors throughout the building. Is my only guess.
Those are just the ones you can see at the moment because it does go off into a T. And you're just on the long bit of the T.
Can I go down and inspect?
Yeah, you can do. You can go down. You can have a look. On
While
the
checking for traps.
make an investigation check.
Fuck. Oh, it was. What do you use for that?
Intelligence.
Just straight in.
No, it's and if you're proficient,
In what?
investigation.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're not.
No.
so yes, straight intelligence, Connor.
15.
15. Okay. You find no traps along this corridor.
Seems fine.
Come to the end of the T. You see that there is along the long section there is a archway with a set of stairs leading up. A door on the far left-hand wall. So essentially, you look to your right, and it's on the left-hand side. And there's a door on your very left, right at the end of the T. The door next to the stairs says enchantment, and the one on the left says alchemy and potions.
Are you telling us?
Yes.
any of this?
Yes.
So schools of magic, but also magical
Supplies.
sort of endeavours, schools of study. Anyway, the question is, do we investigate them or not?
I mean, the stairs went up, didn't
Yes.
they? And that didn't have a door in front of it.
Nope.
Suppose it just makes sense to ascend. I doubt that she would be
I would
in a
thought so.
study hall, and I really doubt she would be on the ground
I
floor.
would say, I very much
I
imagine
don't
she's
see,
right at the top of the building.
Go to the door marked enchantments
Mm-hmm.
and listen at the door.
Make a perception check.
21.
21. You can just hear very faint whispering.
I'll move away
Okay.
and relay this to the others.
Do any of the other doors sound like anyone's behind them?
I haven't listened to any of the other doors.
Take a trick over to any other door.
There are 3 to choose from.
The other one. Don't care.
Roll a d6 for me.
The nearest one.
The nearest one to where you are right now.
To the enchantment door.
Yeah, that'd be the enchantment door. So you go to that
Why'd
one.
you give him that one?
No.
Why'd you give
The
him
nearest.
it?
I know. The nearest one to the enchantment door probably would be the abjuration.
Abjuration.
Okay, let's listen at the end.
Make a perception check.
I mean,
Either of you, or both of you.
I'll help him.
oh,
You can't really help with
23.
listening. 23?
What?
Listen at the door. No sound.
That might be just an effect of it being enchantment magic on the other side.
I mean, I'm all for just ascending and being as quiet as possible, I suppose.
Can I check the study hall
Yes? You open the study hall.
for sound?
Oh, make a perception check then.
So I don't want to go in.
Fine, make a perception
We should
check.
be asking Cedric to do all this checking stuff for us.
What did you roll, Kalatar?
I hear wood.
You hear wood growing.
Is that how long you're there? Photos said this.
Dead wood growing.
The one that was making whispers, can I knock on it?
Yeah? Nothing happens.
Up the stairs. I don't like being in here.
The thing is, we know that a lot of the normal residents of the tower would have been phased out of existence, the rest of the city, presumably, but anyone who's left probably will not be friendly.
Noises are bad.
I think that's a fair assumption.
I can roll with that. That seems fair. I'm all for going upstairs and seeing what's above us.
Right, what's the marching order then, please?
I'll go first, checking for traps as I go.
I will go behind him.
Sure. Who's next? You've got Kalatar, Kafina, Cedric, Fandling, and Farouk.
Oh, maybe Farouk should go because he's heavily arcane.
Yes, he is.
Behind you? Or before you?
Farouk can go behind me,
And then
and then Kafina can go behind.
him, Cushy Squishy. Fanling at the back, Cedric just in front of him, and Kalatar after Kafina.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Make an investigation check, please. My phone goes buzz.
That was a 17.
17. You scour the floors as you sort of make your way towards the stairway. Nothing gets your attention. But as you get towards the threshold of the archway, there's suddenly a flash of the bright light of essentially phosphorus when it lights up, and there is suddenly a wall of flames bursts up in front of you. Both of you make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ow.
Tom's face.
25.
Okay.
15.
Nice.
Okay. So you take no damage. You see the flash of the phosphorus, and you leap back immediately, avoiding the rush of flames as it suddenly bursts out in front of you. Actually, you're not so quick. You take
Story of your life.
14 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
I roll really low on that. Oh,
Is the flame continuous?
it does appear to be. Cedric would also say at this point, I think there's something behind the flames.
How can you tell, Cedric?
There was a shimmer.
I mean, you're very good at perceiving things.
Is there a pebble here?
I have ball bearings, I believe.
That'll do.
I think I have 1,000 ball bearings.
That's not enough. I need all of them to test my theory.
Here's one ball bearing.
If this doesn't work, it's not science. Throws it, goes through the fire, bounces immediately back without passing through the archway.
I will reclaim my ball bearing.
It's hot.
I will wait until it cools down.
Okay.
I'm presuming I probably have leather gloves.
Yeah. You pick it up.
Can I make some kind of Arcana check to see the flames and the...
Make an Arcana check. What are you trying to discern? Because if you want to just see them, then you can see it.
If anything's created,
Yes, see if it's being created by something visible.
Okay.
Or is it... better. 17.
17. Look around. Actually, if you're looking for something, that'd be more of an investigation rather than Arcana.
Okay, can I keep the
Just
same
thinking
roll?
about it. Yeah, same roll.
Cool, 23.
23. There does not appear to be anything that is there that's actively glowing and maintaining it. But you do notice that on the ground where Trick had passed over, that was essentially just before Asher and between Trick, there is a scorch mark of phosphorus, where something is burnt and left behind in the shape of a arcane sigil, a glyph, if you will.
So, there seems to be some kind of GIF on the floor. That has kind of set off this wall of fire.
Is it in front of the fire or behind the fire?
It's in front of the fire.
Our side.
But
It's your side of the fire.
Maybe we could try destroying the glyph.
I mean, it's worth a try. How does one...
Is it carved into the floor?
It
Or?
looks like it's been burnt into the floor, now that it's been left over.
It's a bit more difficult to destroy.
What about Varuk? Does Varuk know anything about how to get rid of glyphs? He's very magey.
Yes, and his character sheet is the thing that fell on the floor.
Magey Carl.
I'll be back.
So, D&D Beyond cards.
His Arcana check gives us something. 18. If this is a glyph of warding spell, as I suspect, then it is unlikely that dispelling the glyph will get rid of what's there. It was contained within the glyph and activated. But these do appear to be abjuration magics.
Saying so much for so little. Does it ever go away?
Usually, yes.
You just wait then?
sure we can. There's abjuration magic. Do you think there might be a key to getting rid of it in the abjuration room?
Perhaps. I mean, how much is an NPC going to be able to tell you?
He's good at magic.
He is. He's intelligent. Perhaps.
So is it worth going back downstairs and having a look in the abjuration room
Sure.
and seeing if we can find anything that might aid us?
Yes. Let's have a look.
Okay.
To the
You-
abjuration room.
Enter the abjuration room. You enter the room, and it looks to be a standard classroom. You know, the kind of thing. I guess probably the best description is like Professor McGonagall's classroom in Harry Potter.
It's like a load
Of desks and some magical things around the room, a few posters. But there are books and various notes that are left lying around.
Can I peruse the books?
Make an investigation check.
21.
21, okay.
Plus 10.
You look around and you manage to find one particular book that looks like it's been thumbed through quite recently. And you sort of open it and you find where a page has been folded down, and it is talking about the Wall of Force spell. And it says, the Wall of Force is a useful spell for making escape, or potentially trapping your enemies, as was found by Professor Trelawney. It may be shaped into panels and used as an elongated wall, as a hemisphere to contain. Under normal circumstances, it lasts for 10 minutes, so utilise this time wisely. However, some enchantments do exist which will lengthen the duration. It cannot be dispelled nor circumvented by a theory of travel. However, it can be destroyed by the disintegration spell or by consumption of the Wanderer's liqueur. You also find, as additional to this,
What's the name of this book, please?
this book is...
A handy guide to Wizard's Tower.
This is cheat codes. No, it is the Abjurer's Guide.
Jurors.
The
Advanced edition.
Wanderer's Liqueur.
Yes, the advanced edition. It also gives you this information as a page that falls out the back.
Nice.
It's double-sided, I think. Isn't it? Oh my god.
Okay, so it might go away in 10 minutes, but it might not. Farouk, you know the disintegration spell, don't you?
I do, but I'm loath to use it this early on. It's one of my most powerful abilities. I'm also not sure if I brought it today.
I don't know.
I did not bring it today.
In that case, we could try and look at the alchemy and potions room and see if we can find anything about this Wanderer's Liqueur.
Sure. I mean, it seems to be the only other way to get through.
Sort of waiting for however long it will just keep going.
Go to potions door.
Alright, you head to the potions room.
Is Kelatar still looking at that page and trying to absorb it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not sure if that's Kelatar trying to read or Matt trying to read.
Both.
Assuming
I would
it's
say both.
at the minute, yeah.
It's both. Alright, so you go, whilst he's doing that and sort of pondering.
I will continue to read but follow.
Yeah. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
24, I think.
What did you roll?
16 and a natural 20.
Okay. You avoid tripping over Kafina as you're reading. Okay, you head to the room, the alchemist room. Have a look, and it is essentially a potions classroom. The sort of thing. There's cauldrons, there are test tubes, there's a door at the back which says ingredient store. There's a cauldron that is just sitting there over an ever-burning fire. There are sinks over to the side for careful spell disposal.
Is there anything in the cauldron over the fire?
There's just water bubbling.
Are there any books?
There are.
I will search for some mention of the Wanderer's Elixir.
Make an investigation check. Wanderer's Liqueur.
Wanderer's Liqueur.
Yes.
30.
You find nothing. No.
Thank you, sir.
You find this. You find an entire page on the Wanderer's Liqueur. And the way
As far
that
as
this...
30, didn't find a bottle.
It does seem to be that this is a recipe book that has been provided to you. Or that you have found.
But one that very, very thoughtfully the author has written his recipe in rhyme.
Right,
What
okay.
language is it in, by the way? Is it in common?
It's in Elvish.
I can't read Elvish.
No, you find it then. That's why you can't understand it.
I
read Elvish?
can't read this. I only
All of them,
common
all
language
because this is the Seder Alpha building. Let's assume all the books are written in Elvish. So it's Cedric or Calatar has to read it for you.
Oh my god.
What does it say, Kelsa?
Do you want to just read it out loud?
Yes. Well,
Go on.
No, I don't want to, but I will.
roughly translated, a potion for those who wish to pass through a wall of stone, ice, or glass. Make a mixture of nature's thyme, along with bane of fire most divine. Add in the root of steed, so horse flower. The basic heart for making mead, the sorrow of the sparking beast, dissolver of the risen east. Finally, add the returned fire, and stir in the darkness ire.
Okay, so nature's time of a fork?
I fucking hate it.
Can I make some kind of understanding to work out?
I know. Why don't we ask Farouk?
I failed alchemy.
Fair enough.
Okay, I mean some of those. I mean, the bane of fire presumably is water.
I mean, that would be a
What was it about mead?
basic heart for making of mead.
Well, that would be honey.
I contributed that. I
Well
also
done,
thought,
yeah.
honey, yeah, I've done my bit for the day.
Root of steed is a bit odd, but maybe there's a ground horse's hoof or something.
That's disturbing.
Find a quill. Well,
Oh, hang on. Bane of fire most divine, that will be holy,
Holy water.
But nature's time is something in nature that's formed. Oh,
I was trying to force an epiphany.
never try and force. They work better if they're natural.
Like 20s. Cedric does say, might it help if we looked at the ingredients store?
I mean, yes.
I mean, yes, that really would, Tedrick. I'm glad you said that.
You go into the ingredients store.
presumably
Fine.
everything is labelled in Elvish.
No, they're labelled in common.
Sure.
Because I don't want to have Matt read them all out to you,
I
because
do.
that will be boring. Matt's going to read them out anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'll pass them down
There
for
you go.
other people to look at.
Take chunks.
Okay.
I'll hold
So-
them for you.
There, Adder's tongue.
Yeah.
Forked. Bronze dragon tis. Did you say sparking beasts?
I did. The sorrow of. So,
Are bronze dragons associated? No, bronze. Yeah. There's copper dragons associated. Oh, I can't remember. Powdered sunstone.
dissolver of the risen east.
Yeah.
Sun. And it's
Risen east.
powdered.
Yeah.
It's my logic.
Foxicle, eye of newt, powdered fox teeth, powdered duckbill, honey,
We know that one.
One of those sounds like
wolf bangs,
Oh, that's fresh.
heart flower pollen, mutton weed, fire giant's blood. That's probably expensive. We should just nick that.
oh right, we're taking this on.
Amberberry, that's very expensive, but it also stinks. Shadow fury.
The darkness ire.
Yeah. Potion of quickening.
Mine.
Phantasm fire. Horseradish.
Ah,
Someone's mixed up their Sunday shopping.
root of a steed.
Sorry?
Root of a steed.
Mule carrot.
What?
I mean,
Donkey
that could
carrot.
be the root of a steed as well.
Oh god.
Copper dragon's tears.
Ah, there you go.
Nightshade. Powdered
That could be
chicken.
darkness ire as well. You
That
bastard.
Okay. What do we actually know about dragons? Does anyone know anything about dragons?
Carter, bard for bard thing.
Woo!
I don't know, I've lived for a long time.
Sure, make a history check. Or Arcana, whichever is better for
If
you.
only they were here.
I know, right?
Oh, there. That's nice.
It's almost like I wrote this entire adventure with her existing.
15.
26.
Okay,
Right,
you know
yeah.
Kelatar. You've never met.
plus 10s.
You have never met a bronze dragon or a copper dragon,
They're
but
lame.
reading your stories from all the tales you have heard far and wide,
Elven porn.
there is one weird mention of the elven. You do know that bronze dragons are the ones who breathe lightning, or are ones that breathe lightning. Others do exist.
Okay, so what do we got? What's on the list again? Nature's eye. No, nature's tongue.
Nature's time.
We
so
think that's Adder's tongue.
I would have thought so.
And then, what was it? Bane of fire, most divine.
Well, that would be the water that you found.
Or did I find holy water?
I don't remember the reference of holy water, just water. I mean, if we pray over it, I'm sure we can make it holy.
Maybe Cedric can.
Maybe Cedric can.
Possibly Asher. Water.
Root of a steed.
Okay, are we going with horseradish or mule carrot?
I mean,
One's not a horse. I mean, these are pictures on bottles. What does mule carrot actually
Mule
mean?
carrot is a very, very brown and hideous carrot with multiple strands coming off it. It kind of looks like ginger, but it is very distinctly a carrot.
Okay.
I mean, if we've got, presumably it's not kind of, they're not bottles of kind of one use per bottle.
No, you have got multiple parts. You can use up multiple
we
certain
can-
ingredients. There are usually, some of them are quite big jars.
So we
Okay.
can
It's
kind
just
of
this
make-
size for
Should we
carrying
go
around.
with horseradish for now?
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, what's next?
Basic heart for making mead.
That was the plan.
Wasn't there another one that said mead and the
No, I don't think so. Mutton weed.
probably just misheard.
Then
Dissolver of the Risen East.
Some.
So that was the
the ground
powdered
sun-
sunstone.
No, that's the
Okay,
powdered chicken's feet.
Use those if you want.
I've lost it. It says
I feel like Cedric would say at this point, powdered chicken's feet makes a good stock.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll take the powdered chicken.
So,
Really should have started at the
Yeah,
front.
really
The
should have started at the
second one at the front, he started at the back.
Started in the middle and just kept going.
The Returned Fire.
return fire. Okay.
It's not even Return Head. It's missing the E
Powdered
for some reason.
nightshade.
phantasm fire.
So return to fire.
I mean, that could definitely be the right
Or
one.
maybe that one.
Well, wasn't there
Sort of a jar of a bulbous blue liquid flame just bubbling around. It's not hot to touch, which is weird.
I suppose returned is another word for kind of ghost, which
Mhm.
could be
Yeah.
phantasm. So
Okay.
okay.
And then the darkness ire.
I think Shadow Fury is probably what we're going for here. Not Nightshade, because there's nothing about ire there.
Yeah, true. Okay. So we've got a...
Is that everything?
Yeah, that's sort of the...
Does someone need to make the water holy?
I mean...
Do I know anything about making water holy?
Yeah, you have the ceremony spell.
Yes.
That might do it.
Do you actually have that spell?
Always, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you do know
You
it takes
actually
1 hour
cast
to
this,
But
cast.
it uses up some of his smite slots.
It does.
It also takes an hour to cast.
Oh, wow.
Presumably this has taken us more than 10 minutes just to be going through the ingredients and that kind of...
Yeah, by this point, yeah, it's taking you a few.
Okay.
Mind you, with your high roll, it didn't take you that long to find the right book.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the wall. Is it still there? The wall of fire?
They're still both still there.
Yeah. Okay. Do we take an hour to do this?
There was something else you picked up, Asher.
I gave it back, the potion of quickening. I assume.
I don't know. You just went yoink.
I gave it back. I took
What
it.
does a potion of quickening do?
Make an Arcana check.
Ah, the shame. Probably not asking the question yourself.
19.
19. From what you know, a potion of quickening can accelerate the casting time of a spell.
Oh.
From
Ha! I got it anyway! Sure, yeah.
From any ideas to the scale of this?
it can drop it down a casting time of more than 1 hour to 1 minute.
Nice.
That would...
Oh my god, how mightily useful. Funk.
It tastes
Is
awful.
it one dose?
Yeah, it's a one use. Yeah. Well, there's multiple doses of it within the vial, but
Right.
you don't think it's going to be useful for what we're doing here anyway. So
Can I have a look around to see if there's anything of Jotun?
of Jotun.
Says it on here. The application of a spell or spells of Jotun origin.
Oh, Jotun.
Oh, Jotun. Oh, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Jotun. Sure, make an investigation check.
You're going to cast...
Done.
29.
29. Okay, look around. There is talk of potions, which sort of is related to Jotuns. Mostly, in particular, potions of frost giant strength. Talking a little bit about that. So you kind of deduce from that that's Jotun related, probably related to cold.
Okay.
Water
So you drink-
is now high holy.
You now have holy water.
Now, the instructions don't give us any indications how much of any of these things,
No.
or what it should look like if it's right.
No. It
Do we
just
have a-
says.
Do we have someone who can brew?
I don't think anyone. I don't know if Kafino is proficient in alchemist tools.
Where would they be written?
So where are they?
In tools. It also might be on a character sheet
No,
that you've got.
flute. Herbal. I've got it here. Flute and herbalism kit.
I think
Calligrapher's supplies.
so you can. So Foundling can write things very nicely.
Vehicles. Land.
Is that Asher?
Yeah.
Proficient in horses.
As you said, proficient in horse. And or cart.
Or possibly tanks.
I am
Hey.
a fucking tank.
That's true.
Tools. Flute. Lute. Vial. That's it.
Disguise kit, thieves' tools, playing card set.
Cedric?
Dulcimer or herbalism kit.
Do a lot of herbs.
Really, Farouk doesn't.
I can't believe that Farouk has brought his own brewing kit with him.
Farouk did say that he failed his alchemy class.
Okay, are there any beginner's guides to potions?
Yeah, this is the potions classroom. There are plenty.
Just watch out for Severus Snape.
Okay, let's try it. Following.
We're gonna Bear Grylls a potion. That, or just take all of it and drink all of it, and I'll go up and kill her.
Okay, so
Just take the stoppers out all of them, just chuck it.
Okay.
Create the mixture.
So, what are you putting in what order?
What was the order it was
In the
read?
list?
I mean, that would be probably wise because I guess.
Yeah, I'm not that mean. I haven't put a hidden order that you're supposed to do them in. It is literal.
What
linear.
water did you bless? Was it the water that was already in the cauldron?
No, I blessed the normal bottle of water.
Okay. So I think we need to start by it says nature's time with the water. So let's start with the holy water and add the adder's tongue.
Okay, so you start with holy water and you add the adder's tongue into it and sort of mix it around and it makes a little paste of holy adder's tongue.
Okay.
Add the horseradish or some horseradish.
You cut off it.
Ratings.
Yeah, you grate off some horseradish.
Then add a little bit of honey.
Spoonful of honey goes in,
Bronze
mixes
dragon
in.
tears and some of the powdered sunstone.
Tears? I haven't got any tears.
Bronze dragon's tears? Oh, sorry, I didn't give those to you.
You could have killed me!
Drink the put the bronze
No.
dragon's tears in,
Bronze-
use them, the honey all mixing into the bubbling water.
And the sunstone powder.
Sunstone, as the sunstone goes in, it turns the entire liquid yellow.
Okay.
And then
And the phantasm fire.
Sort of dark blue flames get mixed in. You just watch the potion just start to turn into this bubbling, roiling green colour.
And then stir in the shadow fury.
What
Yeah.
is Shadow Fury? I
So
mean,
Shadow Fury is this ink black liquid. You have absolutely no idea what it
is
is.
it quite viscous?
It is quite viscous. It's kind of like molasses
Oh wow.
in
Lots.
thickness, in viscosity.
And blackness, probably.
Yeah. You pour it in and bloop. Stir it around. It slowly turns clear.
Clear.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. How much is produced by this process?
I'd say maybe 3 pints worth.
Take a minute.
I will.
Big cauldron.
So is there enough for everyone?
No, I don't know. Depends if you're going to down 3 pints worth of Wanderer's liqueur.
Boom! Shakalaka! I
There
have
is-
the fire!
There is enough for
A
everyone.
yard.
Exactly.
Straight arm drinking only!
No, just a shot glass each. 1, 2, 3.
Muzzles off.
Who wants to give this a try first?
Okay, Ashley, you drink into it.
While stood in front of this fire wall, I'm going up to the firewall. I'm not leaving this to time.
Okay. So you take the flask and you drink it as you get close to it.
Yeah.
Make a dexterity saving for it.
Probably shouldn't have tried that while it was set, when the tray was correct. Ow.
Take 24 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm. Did I go through it though?
You step through the fire. Ah. And then you rush backwards so that you don't get burned again. No. Seemingly did not work.
You fucked up. Ow.
Okay. What do we think the problem was?
The fire is still on.
Yeah, what do we think we presumably messed up with the potion somehow? What do you reckon the mistake was? Was it
don't know.
I mean, the only real
Presumably the force field effectively behind the fire is kind of colourless.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Which is why Cedric threw a ball bearing at it to see whether it was still there.
the only one we had a real conundrum over was the horseradish. We could try making it again with mule carrot instead.
Of a sentence of words that I just smashed together, I did not think that mule carrot would be the one that would continually get people. I feel like that needs to be a white card in Cards Against Humanity next time we play. Mule carrot! Like nothing, no sense to absolutely anyone who just have mule carrot.
So it'll literally just be us four.
And anyone who watches this show.
Of course, of course.
Like Will Wheaton's spicy dick milk.
Yeah, exactly. Matt knows that story now.
Can't believe he did that.
He gave it to his son as a household
Yes,
gift.
that's the worst bit. Kept the cup and gave it as a household gift.
Anyway, shall we try it with the mule carrot?
Sure.
You're trying so hard not to laugh when you say that, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, so
Mule carrot.
we repeat. Repeat
I
the
was
process.
just amused by how much you were holding off on it.
Repeat the process
Okay.
with the mule
You
carrot.
take the horseradish away, add the mule carrot. I assume you empty the cauldron and
Yes.
start again.
Eventually, of
No,
course.
we mix it all in together.
Okay, are you drinking again, Asher?
Yes.
Or is someone else?
Maybe I should,
I'll
because
say-
I'm quite good at getting out of the way of.
Sure.
Fire.
We'll ingest that.
Make it with mule carrot instead.
Alright.
Still a dexterity save.
Yes, please.
$17.
17 is not on that page. Yeah, no, that's the DC, 17. So yeah, dodge out of the fire, you go, ha, boom, 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 boom. Still there.
Hmm.
I'm not magic-y enough to understand why this is happening. I assume it's something to do with the fact that the fire and the barrier are two separate things.
I mean, this was to get us through the wall of force. It said.
What if the nightshade was wrong?
Has
Shadow
anyone,
Fury.
has anyone got any spells that? Oh, I shut myself there.
I would have murdered you live on Twitch.
Deal cold forms of kind of cold damage.
I mean, I can. But it's one of my higher level spells.
I don't really want to kind of.
Does anyone? No.
What about if we use chill touch? Oh no! Wait!
The only damaging magic I have is electric. Do a little hand crackle thing.
He says, I mean, I could try. I could see if I could make cold happen.
Can she adapt spells then?
No, I can just think about other spells that might be available, and I could just try and make them
Yeah.
happen.
And then we can potentially blow people up.
None
if
of
it's sufficiently basic. I mean, I know there's the Ray of Frost spell is fairly basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
I should be
wouldn't
fine to be able to do that.
dangerous to try.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. If I can't think about it enough, then it doesn't work.
A cantrip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Okay. Hey, it worked. Huh.
Lame.
It did not make any difference.
Okay.
Is there anything I can tell from, I don't know, just thinking about it.
Make a straight intelligence check. What are you thinking about specifically? Just as a,
About the potion recipe as read out to us by Galatar,
yeah.
and the ingredients we have.
Mhm.
Is it, I mean, I'm just sort of sitting, thinking about it, trying to work out.
Sure, what did you roll?
19.
19. Forked. Nature's Fork. That seems right. Bane of Fire, Most Divine. That Holy Water. Not sure about the Root of Seed. Could be either or. Heart for making mead. Basic. Basic heart.
There we go.
Heart flower pollen, not me, not honey.
Ah, right.
You need pollen before you get honey. And heart.
Yeah, okay.
So, let's try it with horseradish,
Okay.
not mule carrot.
Still gets him!
Heart flower pollen instead of honey.
Okay, you mix in the heart flower pollen, which is a sort of pink, rose pink, or rose gold kind of colour that just pours in, dissolves quite nicely into the water. And you again end up with this clear liqueur with a slight pink tint around the outside.
I'll try it again.
Okay, you drink it. You walk up to the flames, and they part.
Flames part.
Yep.
Ooh. I think this is right.
And you walk up to the wall with the ball bearing first and touch it against it. You feel the resistance. Put your hand and pass through.
Bollock.
Take a drink and
Yeah, so you take fire damage, you go through because you drank it first.
No, I'm not more.
Didn't say it!
Oh, if this is what we're doing.
Colin, why do you make that second attack for? Oh no, wait.
No, well, sort of like, and they attack you. Well, Luke, they didn't draw their weapons, so they're clearly doing an unarmed strike.
But are they devils?
Oh, they will be fiends. You fiendish fucker.
72. Alright.
I'd have passed the fucking DC as well. Natural 20. Man.
Half down. No. So, drinking the Wanderer's Liqueur, as you all obviously would have done because you're not fucking morons.
I drink from the cauldrons.
You manage to pass through, and you enter the stone staircase and start walking.
I will keep checking
And
the water.
make an investigation check.
looking for arcane runes.
Make an investigation check. You're looking for arcane runes.
For God's sake. 17.
17? Okay.
Keep rolling low.
19.
19? You find no.
Plus 12 to investigation, but still.
You find no arcane runes. You find no traps. But as you're walking up the stairs,
There are many.
you go round and round and round and round and round.
I'm going to start
How
walking
many
back towards the
actuals?
enchantment room.
You walk back down the stairs. As you walk back down, you come face to face with Trick.
I'm aware.
Hang on, I was in front, wasn't I?
Yes.
It's a looping staircase, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
On the third round,
Right, let's go back.
we can't.
can I make some kind of can I bar things to work out the fuck is going on?
Make an Arcana check. Or an investigation check. One of the two. I don't know which.
I'm glad you said investigation. 17.
17.
Oh,
You don't find anything in particular that stands out.
Is it like the spiral? Is there a hollow?
There's a wall.
No, like
It's not like a staircase and then you look down and there's a floor. It's a wall that is just spiraling around.
It's just a
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Actually-
Thing down there.
No, sorry, got that wrong. So, looking around and investigating.
On a second glance.
Yeah, I remember what the DC is. It's actually slightly lower than I thought it was. There's different DCs, different things. Look around. You sort of look right down at the edge of the walls near the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slight crack in the stonework that is quite jagged on one end, and then there's just sharp, flat on the other end.
I don't know how relevant to the current predicament it might be, but there's that.
And it's in the same piece of stone. It's not in like two bricks.
Okay.
I'll prod it with Shatterfang.
Product Shatterfang. You see the tip of Shatterfang fade in and disappear into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you realise it is an illusion.
What, the wall is an illusion?
No, there is an illusion that is covering here. Make a perception check, Asher.
Where?
What did you roll?
Natural.
Cool, what?
Another. No, it's Shatterfang is disappeared.
It's gone!
No!
Okay.
Still there.
What are they?
Tip disappears.
Can I... Like, if the tip is in, can I move it around?
I mean, it doesn't go. You can get the better. You can get better angle on it.
Tried so hard! That one got me.
The tip is so hard. You angle it. Doesn't seem to. It's
So
not
I can't
clever.
like, lift it up in there, it just seems to be...
It's just a small crack that you can just about get the tip of
I
Shatterfang
don't know,
into.
be careful about that.
I mean, you failed the check, so.
Yeah, it's illusion. I'm illused. Anyone else want to have a look at the
I
hole?
will put my finger in it.
Okay, you put your finger is too big to get into the crack.
That's
That's what it's wide enough for the tip of a blade, but not for a finger.
Maybe I'll have a go at it with my thieves' tools.
Okay, put your thieves' tools in.
Mm-hmm.
Make a dexterity check.
To see if the wall can turn.
See if you can find that sweet spot.
22.
22. Okay, you see as the thieves' tools go in, there is a little bit of wiggle room. It feels like you've gone into essentially the hollow space behind the stonework. You just sort of feel it trickling around. And as you kind of do, you poke it out to the side, and it's passing through that wall there. And it's almost like you can feel a slight movement there, nearby.
We can't go back.
It will just bring you back down the stairs to where the rest of you are. But you are aware that there is an illusion, so make a perception check for me.
Don't fail me, Grog. 19.
19, okay. Seeing through the illusion, you do notice that there is a faint groove along the ground. So as you sort of followed it with your thieves' tools, you found there is a slight groove that is carrying on. As you sort of look through the illusion, trying to get past it using various tricks that you've been taught by your master, you can see that there is a slight white light that is just revolving around. You sort of follow it around the entire way around, and it looks like it's a circular, creating some sort of gate connecting 2 points.
I will point this out. Can we break it somehow?
Break what?
This gate, the magic involved. I can't dispel magic, but I don't know if anyone else can.
This circle thing, can I... Oh, this has been pointed out now to see.
Yeah. You can see it now, yeah. Now it's been pointed at you.
What is it on, like a wall, or what? How big?
It's essentially what it is that there is the circle going around in this quite narrow staircase, so you're pretty much in single file here, but it's been carved into the wall so that it's just not clear and obvious as you walk through it, and then the illusion is covering over the crack that has made the circle is sitting in, just so that you don't notice essentially that you're using the same staircase.
Someone should probably do something about that.
Does anyone have the ability to dispel magic?
Cedric. I believe that there is a furball racial trait that allows him dispelling magic. He may also have it prepared. Third level spell.
First either. Oh yeah, he does.
Is it prepared or is it
Yes, it's prepared.
Ah.
So I shall use one of Cedric's third levels to dispel magic.
Make what level are you casting at first of all?
Third.
Roll wisdom check, please.
Wisdom.
Yes.
Is this something that hashtag bless can help with?
Bless is an ability check, so yes. That's using up your second smite slot. Connor's casting spells!
Straight wisdom, yes.
Yes, please. As it is a spellcasting ability modifier.
Could Kelazar inspire Cedric?
I mean, Kalatar certainly could inspire Cedric.
Cedric does also have his D10, but that's
Yeah.
only a once a day thing.
Yeah, sort of.
Inspiration is D8.
It's D10.
It is D10.
Oh no, sorry. Bless does saving throws. I think I'm thinking of guidance. Does ability
Guidance
checks.
is a cantrip.
Which I think Cedric can cast on himself. I think Cedric has guidance.
Cedric can guide himself and Kelazar can inspire him.
Correct.
I just won't cast them.
So,
Yeah.
and guidance is advantages, isn't it?
D4.
That's D4.
Okay, so yes, Cedric will be inspired. So that.
Also, you don't have to use the inspiration until after you've rolled the D20.
Roll the D4 at the same time. Might be enough, but solid. Go for it. Why not? Yeah, this might be overkill. 31.
What did you roll?
A 14, a 3, and a 7.
Yeah, that's overkill.
I wanted to make sure I could do it.
He dispels it so hard. Like you just watch his,
What was
even the
DC
illusion.
on that?
It's like 16.
Oh wow!
Even the illusion vanishes because he is dispelled so hard.
The
But
person
the
who
two
cast it is
vanish.
offended.
There are people who are on either side of the wall and they're suddenly met with the stairs either side and cannot see each other. So essentially, you are one floor height difference.
I will wait where I am until someone.
Everyone comes back. You rejoin up the stairs.
Right. Okay.
As you come up, it leads you to another corridor. Similar layout to the one below, except where it was the T, it has a wall with a single door on the front, and then it just curves around in essentially an L-shaped. On the right, there is a door which says dormitories, and then there's a door on the right at the front which says experimental enchantment laboratory.
Can Cedric?
Did you have to check his character sheet to know his name?
No,
Ross be offended.
no. Check his number. Can Cedric make a or try and perceive if anyone is in the dormitories?
Probably best to have his shield out in case anyone attacks him.
Shield out.
Okay, make a perception check with advantage.
Isn't it only against things you see?
It might be only against sight. I will double check. You've got the DMG there, haven't you?
Yes, I did bring it over. Look at that. Cedric had a brewer's book.
Sentinel shields. Perception on wisdom perception checks. And initiative.
28.
This is the door. I hear nothing up there.
Fair enough. That's alright then.
Can I check for arcane rooms?
Make an investigation check.
It's the only thing I've found as of late. 22.
22, you find no arcane rooms.
Must be safe.
What's round the corner of the L?
Round the corner of the L are 2 more doors and another staircase.
Right, the doors I can't read, so
No.
you come and tell me.
Read.
The door on the right says library. The door on the left is the transmutation classroom.
Okay. And just to test that theory, on the staircase, are you running out of battery, Luke?
Yeah, I didn't realise I hadn't plugged it in. Or at least turn the switch on.
Did it save it?
Yeah, it's still going, it's fine.
Okay.
It just said, the battery is getting low. Turn that on then.
I assume at some point on this staircase I'm going to be interrupted by something foul, so I will look.
Eat the chicken's feet.
Hang around my neck.
It's powder. It's powder.
Rub it on yourself like talcum powder.
Yeah.
I thought you were snorting it.
Line of chicken's feet. Go for the fight.
Don't do that.
Adder's tongue.
What about the duck's bill? Make a
I
platypus.
wear
Powdered as well.
it. Power platter.
That's right, you can munch on that mule carrot as you go.
Yeah. Just in the middle of a fight.
It gives me energy!
Whack a duck.
Protein.
Anyway, yes.
A carrot that gives protein. That's pretty.
I don't know
pretty
what that thing was
cool.
sat in.
It's a mule carrot, that's why. It's got mule encased in it.
You can kick doors twice as hard.
But you can't breathe because you are sterile.
Are there any sort of runes on the floor from what happened last time on this?
Make an
approach to a
investigation
stone?
check.
I'm just thinking of asking the same question. 15.
You find nothing.
I carry on upstairs for a little bit.
Okay, you go up the stairs. And you go around and you come to another floor. This one, you can see that there is, it's another L T-shape. But this time you have got 5 doors dotted around. 2 on your right hand side, on the right hand side of the lower part of the T. 1 on the left. You've got 1 room that is blocked off. Essentially, it's just 1 wall and then a door into it. And then there is a ladder going up into an attic. The door on your left, as you come up to it, is evocation.
Mm-hmm.
On your right, first on your right is the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And the one after that is necromancy.
Not going for that.
And then the one on the left, just before you turn the corner, so second left, is conjuration. And then the attic looks as if it goes to the divination.
That's
Which
right.
we know Roy Wynn is quite fond of. Divination, wasn't it? She was a divination's. No?
No, you don't.
Oh,
you-
Just mistress of the arcane.
I thought she specialised in divination. No.
But we know that some divination spells use the stars. So, an attic with access to the sky makes sense.
I can back down and relay this information. That
Mhm.
there seems to be nothing on the stairs. And 5 more doors up and top. And a ladder that leads possibly to outside.
Very tempted to look in the experimental enchantments.
I'm glad you said that. Because I didn't want to be the only person.
I will check the door traps.
Make an investigation check.
27.
It is not trapped or locked.
I will open
Concerned.
the door.
You open the door.
Make it dexterity.
And it looks like the sort of thing, like a mad scientist laboratories. There are test tubes, there are large copper vats, there's a large metallic frame that looks a bit like an angel attached to the wall. You know that episode of The Simpsons where they found an angel fossil? Yes, it kind of looks like that, but made of metal, just hanging on the wall. And all sorts of tools, some hastily scribbled notes, scorch marks along the walls and the benches. And in the centre of the room there is a large copper coil that stands around a stone pole with a silverish sphere on top. Like a
So-
big Van de Graaff generator.
So like a big Tesla coil.
Yes, that's the coil, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I'm gonna look round and see if anything sparks my interest.
Make an investigation check.
Is
Good,
that-
good pun, I appreciate it.
Investigate the metal angel thing.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Can I look for books?
Make an investigation check.
25.
25. Okay.
20.
20? Okay.
18.
18. You find many books talking about all sorts of different experiments that can be made with magic, things that have been tested. There are some notebooks about things that are going to be tested at some point but haven't yet got into. The creations of golems, in particular, is one that comes up. And the creation and manipulation of elementals.
Oh.
You, looking at the angel, find that there is a copper wire that sort of connects from it to 2 vats of cold water next to it, just on a table. What you find with your investigation, what was it, 28?
25.
25, okay. You find that there is a string of copper that goes from the Tesla coil that goes to a panel that is on the left-hand side of the room that has got some buttons on it and a lever. Folded around the lever is a hastily scribbled note that says, to pass through the
What
secret...
language is the note written?
It's written in common.
Right.
Yeah.
To pass through the secret door, apply the accompaniment to the roar of Thor.
Apply the accompaniment
To the roar of Thor.
roar of Thor. I will say roar of Thor. Does anyone know what that means?
Make a religion check with advantage.
20.
20?
18 or 17.
Thor is the god of thunder.
Yes.
The accompaniment of thunder, usually lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Probably lightning.
Probably lightning.
You also find that there is another thread of copper leading up to the angel and to the ice vats.
Ice vats.
They were vats of cold water, icy water.
So we need to use lightning on something to open
In order to open a passage,
a secret door.
any I know it's a secret door, so probably secret. Any idea where it might be? Cool, thanks.
I mean that it could be anywhere in this room. The only place that you're fairly certain it wouldn't be would be directly behind you, because that's the door you came in.
The not secret door.
It's also likely it may not be on the left hand side because that goes directly to the next room, which is the library.
So what are the chances of if we create some lightning, pull that lever, and that giant thing starts kind of, well, probably wailing on Asher, given that Asher's standing right next to it.
Does this thing look like it could move?
I mean, it doesn't look like it could because it's just parts essentially. It looks
But
like
is it like geared?
No. It just looks like it's pieces of metal that are laid out into a frame. But none of them are actually connected to each other. It's like a skeleton, but not with the sockets all connected. It's like disjointed.
Does it have any weapons?
No.
Can I have a look at it
Mm.
with reference to the book on golems that I found?
Make an intelligence check. With advantage because you have that book. But it was golems and elementals, so it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Intelligence, yeah?
Yes, please.
With advantage.
Advantage.
Oh, oh, thank you. Advantage. 18.
18. Okay.
Rather than 5.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
work, Kalatar. Okay. There are talks of creations of elemental magic that can be combined together into different ways to create different types of elementals. So the usual ones, the fire, water, and earth, air. What?
Sorry, I'm metacat.
Okay, fine.
Ignore me.
Tom has knowledge that Trick may not have.
Yes. There are ways of connecting bits of these elements together and sort of combining them into a particular form that is used containing particular metal alloys that uses it as a format. And it speaks of one which combines lightning, fire and smoke into a framework.
Yeah.
and using that as a conduit for this creature, which then could come alive and be under instructions.
Lightning, fire, and smoke.
Yes.
So lightning from a charge put into the thing. Smoke, well, basically, because the whole thing is just going to start smoking. And fire from somewhere, and that thing comes alive.
I'm going to examine the panel with the lever and the buttons.
Make an investigation check. What are you looking for in particular? Just anything?
Any inclination as to what the buttons do in
Okay.
particular?
Press up.
29.
29, okay. You look at them, and you actually look at them in such a way, you get your thieves' swords, you actually pry up the panel a little bit to just see what they are. 5 of the 9 buttons that are there aren't connected to anything.
Okay.
They're just there to look nice because they make a nice geometric pattern. The other ones all connect through to different points in the machinery.
Mhm.
They look as if they're sort of vaguely connected to the lever, and it looks like pulling the lever would complete a circuit. What role the buttons have on that, you have no idea. There's no obvious connection of how they interact. It's possible that once it's charged, they then send certain pulses that activate it, but it's difficult to tell without it being switched on.
Is the coil in the middle of the room connected into this whole system?
Yes.
The panel to the coil, then to the vats and the angel on the wall.
Yes.
I really want to pull the lever.
Mm-hmm.
Trick really wants to pull the lever.
I'm backing away from the angelic death machine we're about
He's
to
basically
awaken.
going to cast Shocking Grasp
Okay.
and pull the lever with Shocking Grasp.
Roll damage with shock and grasp.
2d8.
2d8.
I think.
Yep.
Sounds like it.
I'm by the door.
Okay.
8.
8. As you do, some of the buttons start to just glow slightly, and then you just see a pulse of electricity go down the copper, bypassing through the angel and going into the vats of cold water. As you do, the water just starts to shimmy, starts to shake and grow and solidify, pulling itself out of these vats, this sort of weird humanoid shape. Kind of like if you've ever seen Ben 10, Diamond Head. No one's ever seen that? No? Might just be me. Kind of like this crystalloid humanoid shape just pulling itself out of the ice bucket. And as it moves, you hear that sound of ice moving on ice, that sort of weird cracking, crunching sound as they both pull themselves up. No, you should roll initiative.
Why?
Oh, good.
Why?
Delilah?
I thought it would be a good idea.
To an awaken an elemental.
Okay, swap to bloody hell, where is it? There. Oh, shite. Not good.
So Asher is specifically by the door.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Kelatar
about to leave.
and Trick is by the lever. We're going to say Cedric and Foundling up there. Farouk's over there, and Kafina is looking at this big electrical thing. Yes, roll initiative for everyone. Yes?
I did, but I forgot that Foundling still has a level of exhaustion.
Oh, yes, he does.
Does Cedric have advantage?
Yes, he does. 25 to 20.
Right.
No.
Okay, he's probably not going to work.
Is it the same number?
No.
Worse. 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
Trick has 17.
Caffeine has 16.
10 to 5.
13.
10 to 15.
Sorry, Foundling has 14.
Okay.
13 for Cedric and 11 for Kelatar.
Okay, Farouk got himself a big fat 6. Asher?
Well, technically it's a 0. So I rolled a 2.
Good old Asher initiative. Whoops. It's there somewhere. There we go. So, top of the round is Trick.
I will,
Sorry.
and then I will try pressing one of the buttons.
Okay. Push one of the buttons. Which one?
I will choose at random.
Okay, roll
Well, you know
d10.
the ones that are
There's
connected
5.
to stuff.
There
so-
are 4, aren't there?
4, actually, yeah, sorry.
That's 2.
2. You push the button, and you suddenly feel the. You can hear there's a slight hum inside the mechanism, as if the electrical charge is still sort of circling in there. You suddenly hear that accelerate slightly. Just a low hum. But nothing else happens.
Okay. Did that take my
I'll say it's
action?
bonus action, interacting with an object.
Is there anything in the room I could hide behind?
With the panel.
Is the panel not against the wall?
It is against the wall, but there is it comes out because it's obviously, it
Okay.
protrudes out a bit.
I will try to hide behind the panel.
Make a stealth check at disadvantage. Because you're right in front of them.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. You duck down sort of. Kafina.
Can you make a charisma saving throw, please?
Okay. Which one are you targeting? Left or right?
Are there 2?
There's 2, yes. I said they both pull themselves out. Both VATs activated.
Oh god.
Oh, I thought there was only one. They both the same
Thing, yeah.
thing. Then doesn't really matter.
That is a very, very poor 11.
It's banished.
Okay.
Bye!
It is banished. And Kafina is concentrating on banishment.
Can Kafina walk towards, get towards Asher without getting smacked?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. That is all.
That's all. Brings us to the Galvanize Weird. The other one is still banished, so it can't do anything for a minute. That one is going to go straight for Kalatar.
I'm hoping it's not from round here.
Up and round these here parts. It's going to make a slam attack against you, Kalatar.
Go for it.
That is a 17 to
Well, if it
hit.
hits Asher, it hits me.
So 17 to hit.
Yeah.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of lightning damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh, okay, bear with. What's the first no, plus 3. 19!
19? Okay, you're fine. As it just sort of slams into you, you just feel this sort of pulse of electricity just bang into you. It's cold as it hits you. It's just this solid ice form. It's more annoying more than anything else. It didn't do a lot, but yeah. Foundling.
This one is strange.
Yes, I do die.
So you're looking at walls.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go fucking excited.
Save me, wolves.
Foundling will step up next to Kalatar, if it can.
Yes, he can. Or they can, sorry.
They can. And with his tonfa, or
Their tonfa.
sorry.
You doing?
I will take the attack action.
Make 2 attacks.
So that is.
Or dire wolves.
No, I just accidentally found the phase spider page by accident.
Oh yeah.
16?
Hits.
No, sorry. 15.
Oh, hits.
So it's what, D6 plus 2?
Yeah, it's his monk weapon.
Yeah.
Or their monk weapon, sorry.
What?
What did you do?
I rolled a dice and the dice that landed in the tray was a D20 and I don't understand. So that's 7 points damage.
7
No, sorry. 12 points damage.
12 points of damage.
Dexterity.
And plus 2 weapons.
Second attack.
Yep, go for it.
Same, 15.
Hits.
minimum damage 8.
Okay.
And then
Smacks it twice.
bonus action. He will patient defense
Okay, so using one key point, goes into the defensive stance
and AC raised.
by 2.
Really raised to 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cedric.
Wow. Yeah.
Do something.
I'm looking to do something. Wow. Really doesn't help. Oh. Okay.
I'm
Might-
used for that sheet.
Might need that later.
Solid. Where is? Oh, there.
Next to you.
No. More where
Oh,
is
with Cedric.
Okay. He's going to touch the ice thingy with chill touch.
Make an attack roll.
Chill touch, did you say?
Yeah. Just stay away. 14.
Hits.
Cool. D8.
2d8. Level 10 casters.
Necromance. Necrotic damage.
13 points of
13.
necrotic damage.
This hand comes out of the ice waters, just seemingly mocking it. It just sort of spectrally just strokes the back of its head. It
But it was just a flick.
just strokes at the back of the ear and then flicks the ear off. And it's like, poof, and explodes. I need a dexterity saving throw from Kellatar and Foundling. Foundling with advantage.
Oh, it exploded.
Yes.
Ooh, I did not envisage.
Because he has taken up the dodge action.
Who did?
Foundling.
Okay.
Take dodge action, you have advantage on dex saves.
Holy shit. 25.
Yeah, he's fine. Kellatar?
1.
You take, as it explodes, 7 points of lightning damage.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Other than that, Cedric is going to.
Actually,
Don't like it when he says action and snickers.
Mm-hmm.
Only
you
both.
also watch as the lightning arcs from this thing and impacts into the console next to Trick.
Oh. Cool.
And it starts to whir
Uh-oh.
and click.
Why did you remove the ice thingy?
away?
As you attempt to back away, the flux charger comes to life.
As in the metal angel?
The metal angel, sorry. Otherwise known as the flux charger.
Why did you remove the thingy?
The one that died.
Oh, did he die?
Yes,
fair
it
enough.
exploded in your face.
Oh, fair enough. I just thought a part of it kind of went off.
Does the flux charger look hostile?
It's hard to tell because it's got a mask for a face that doesn't move. Just looks indifferent. I'm going to roll initiative for it.
Pretty hostile.
It actually goes up here. Which is annoying. Never mind. Kellatar.
Oh, goody.
Can I borrow your pencil?
I am. Oh, yes, I am going to realise that this thingy has come alive.
So it sort of the electricity has sort of surged through its body, and it's now seemingly the whirring that was inside was creating some sort of fire. It's used the electricity to light some sort of fire, and it's just creating the flame and smoke which has been suctioned into it, forming that full format. And as it sort of expanded out, the arms have sort of grasped onto two metallic cylinders. As it pulls out, and you can just see that they are glowing hot and sort of creating more smoke to continually produce as part of this body. It's basically like cigarette lighters in cars. Just that sort of glowing embers at
Just
the
took
end.
its hands into 12 volts.
Yeah. It's very hard.
Man, I asked for the weapons, but now it's just using the environment.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to put a hand on Foundling's shoulder,
Yes.
and I'm going to say, "You can take that guy, right? Good." And Foundling is inspired.
I thought you were hasting him.
Doesn't have haste.
I'm going to move.
You can't use wish either.
You could use wish to cast haste.
That would be.
Such a waste.
I know haste is a good spell. But
Actually, no, to be fair, at that level, because it would be casting it as a 9th level spell, you'd be casting haste as.
Except that haste doesn't scale.
Oh no, it doesn't target extra people, does it? Yeah.
No.
It's very, very good as a 3rd level spell, but does it get any
I
better?
wish the entire party was hasted. Now that would be a spell.
Haste used to be a spell.
Can I then move as far away
But
as possible?
used only to increase movement speed.
Cool.
As far as you can get.
And can I hold a guiding bolt?
How many charges are you using?
Just the one.
Okay. Until what trigger?
Until this big thingy turns hostile.
Okay. Farouk is going to
Master spell.
hold a chromatic orb. I'm just going to hold a chromatic orb, 1st level, in case shit gets real.
What level?
First.
Oh, I thought you said 6th for a reason. I was like, damn.
Until shit gets
Yeah. I feel like...
Asher.
I
Would like to cry.
That is all.
something's gonna throw that fucking thing up. Yeah, fine, I'll walk towards it. I'm
Go.
20 feet away from
If
it.
I had
You are 20 feet, yes, you can get into melee with it.
And I will hold my attack for if it tries to do anything shifty. If it looks threatening.
Okay.
Not threatened by it yet.
In case it does anything shifty.
Shifty.
Or it's threatening. Okay. It's
But I am
going
in striking range, aren't I? Yes.
Yeah, you're in melee with it.
Great.
It's going to make 2 slam attacks. One against Foundling, against Trick, one against you, Asher.
Bam bam.
Hang on, aren't I across the
Next to it.
I was next to the panel.
Which
Yeah.
is here.
Which is right
I
next
can't
to
actually
the thing.
see the map, you realise.
Stand up and you can come and have a look at it.
Okay.
So it's going to... Yeah, so make your attack roll, Kalatar, whilst Farouk makes his shot, which is technically the next one, so it has advantage.
Sorry.
Making this acid damage, because that makes sense. Kalatar, what do you roll?
14.
Misses!
I had a feeling that might.
14 on the dice.
So in which case, Farouk missed, because he missed with his first roll. I was going on the assumption the guiding bolt hit it, but it didn't.
No, I only rolled a 5.
28.
28 hits. What are you rolling?
3d6.
Why?
Because I'm smacking it.
But you're not raging.
So just 2d6.
Oh, hang on, when is it? Oh, no, you have to have your wing. Is when you pop your wings out, you get your extra.
It's 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. That is one more than Farouk did with his chromatic orb that missed. Okay, so that's the first strike
Do I
with the
get
sword.
2 attacks?
Yes.
Come on.
But did you pull out your weapon?
What did you roll to miss?
14.
16 hit.
16 just hits.
Nice.
I hit on a 3, guys.
So,
Wow,
so the first one, with the orbs, you fire out your guiding bolt. It just misses as its form is not fully solidified yet. It just phases through. As Asher swings with her sword, she cuts into the metal twice.
16.
Another 16 points of damage.
Nice.
It's looking hurt. Like its soul, it's hurt. It's really depressed. No. So it's now going to change its punches to just punch Asher.
It already declared them.
Yeah, can it choose to change this?
It had already declared. That's what triggered my attack.
Okay, fine. It's going to punch Trick as well then.
I thought it was Trick and Foundling. It was
Foundling's too far away. It's Trick and Asher.
Okay.
There's still one against each.
No,
I don't care.
happy
You
for
punch me twice. I'm being pedant.
You're happy for it to Asher.
being a pedant.
Oh, that's alright, that's a natural 20 against Trick.
That might be less happy.
And another natural 20 against Asher. What the fuck? I know. It's me. So, that is... I'm going to roll the damage the same because that's easier. Would you like me to roll it separately, Connor?
No.
Okay. Those and
I've also changed my mind on my turn. I would like to have raged.
oh, I see. No. Yes. 26 points of bludgeoning damage each, and 27 points of fire damage as it slams into you with its big cigarette lighters and bang, bang.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay.
27 total.
If the total was 54, then yes.
The total was 53.
Then yeah. Yeah, 27.
I was going to fade away, but that...
Might need it later.
Well, no, that was a punch and a half. In fact, it was 2 punches.
It was 2 punches and a half. Alright, that's going to end its turn. Brings us to Trick. Yes, Asher.
Trick was hidden.
It's hidden on this side, but was
Yeah.
standing right next to
I don't
the
know.
thing.
I just remembered.
I mean,
You said you hit.
I rolled a bit stealth. Presumably, I'm in combat with it. I'm in melee with it.
Yes, you
I
are.
don't know. How's the side of your face? Probably in combat.
Don't do that on camera. Terms of service, because we can't. From what I just looked over, I just saw. I knew what you were doing, but I couldn't see because your arm was just off screen, just off camera.
Really? Oh, fair enough.
So I will
No,
bonus
it's not
action disengage
Okay.
and move
Two.
away.
2. Just away. To here. This is the downside of doing things here.
Yes.
You can't see the battle maps.
I will move to the other side of the coil,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
and I'll try and shoot it with my bow.
Make your attack with your bow.
Yebo.
Yebo.
Evo.
Lebo, yeah. The Southampton centre forward.
No, it was a Newcastle. It was a midfielder for
21.
Newcastle and Leeds.
21 hits.
Close enough.
And sneak attack, because
Sneak
Asher is
attack.
there. And it's a magical bow, isn't
He
it?
was the one that got
It is a +1 to
So yes, it's a magical bow.
Okay, and it is piercing damage, so I get an extra d6 of damage.
Yes.
So all the d6s.
All of them.
Not bad. 12. 18. 27.
How would you like to kill it?
Oh!
That hurt! And then shoot it in the mask.
Okay, you take the shot, what, in the eye hole or just in the dead centre?
If there's an eye hole in it, yes.
There's an eye hole. You take the shot and it just goes straight through the eye hole, but as it impacts, it sort of bends down with the electromagnetism that's flowing around its head, and it just bends down and strikes straight down through the middle of its core, and it just disintegrates into a pile on the floor. Gone.
Huh.
What?
That's what.
It was a choice.
Less choices.
No, more choices. Thus, I think I got more out than anyone from that, so. You're already fair way down there.
I ate all of it.
You uncanny dodge,
Yeah,
that helps.
It's 47 points of damage.
You have 141 total.
It was 53 points of damage from the.
Oh, whoa.
So another
Doesn't
six,
matter.
another 6 points of damage to you then.
No, I took it all because I did it in 2 increments. but-
Okay.
Ow.
All right. So what are you guys doing? Kavino is still concentrating on banishment.
Yeah, I
so
was just thinking that.
You've still got another 40 seconds before anything happens.
Do we know where it will come back to?
Exactly where it left.
Do we know exactly when it will come back?
About 20 seconds.
Fee, how long have you been thinking of that spell?
About half a minute.
Well,
So in about 30 seconds it's going to reappear there.
how about we all just get away from it, and we know it doesn't take a lot to kill it, so we could all just ready
Spam it.
ranged attacks and spam it as soon as it appears.
I like this plan.
Is there anything in the room I can throw?
Many things in this room you could throw.
Wait, was that big ball bearing thing? The thing
Test the coil.
Yeah.
Still in the centre of the room.
No, the thing that he picked up. It had it on his hands.
Oh, what, the big, like, metal...
Gauntlet.
yeah,
I think it
essentially.
slammed us with.
Yes.
Yeah, those. Yeah, those are there.
I'd like to. Is it hot?
Yes.
Yeah. You fucker. Do you think you could pick it up holding something without it hurting?
You can certainly try.
I pick up a chair.
Okay. The chair is hot. And it's... No. You,
Pick up a chair and I ready the throw action.
okay,
When
you're
the-
raging an improvised weapon of throwing a chair.
Yes.
Okay. What's everyone else holding?
2 sacred flames.
Okay. One each.
Oh, one each character.
Yeah. Just both.
Not one each hand.
Static up.
Does Foundling have
Probably not a good idea, given that
Dagger?
it's electrical.
Everything she has is electrical.
Can you hold a spell while concentrating?
No, Kafina couldn't. If she does it, she breaks concentration.
Oh,
And
it's
it would
got
just
darts. Foundling, they're not magical darts.
They are just darts. What the hell? Okay.
Well, he'll ready a dart anyway because he doesn't know that it needs to be magical. So.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a magical chair. Being that it's a chair in a School of Magic.
It's probably.
It's been infused. It's got some magical spells on it.
I've devised that this is it.
Okay, so that's the Sacred Flames trick.
Arrow.
The Killsoft has just turned on. Unless one of you sat on the remote, the controller maybe.
I put the controller down
No,
there.
I don't know. Maybe it's just activated to my voice. I don't know. Xbox, turn off. Anyone who's watching at home that's on an Xbox.
I was going to say, anyone who has a console, no!
Don't think we do that. If someone could just push the glowing X on the bottom.
I can't move.
I will.
We'll do it. We'll do it in a minute. We're going to go on break shortly. Okay, so you're holding it, waiting. Kafina goes, okay. Thank you. Okay. Spell's going to stop in a minute. Everyone get ready. 3, 2... Shit, I miscounted! As it reappears. So it's Attack roll for thing and 2 dex saves. 13 and 18. I think both of you have got the same DC.
17, so 1 hit.
Okay. How much?
So, Foundling got a 17.
Hits.
Trick got a 23.
Hits.
Correct.
You crit him with a chair. Roll 2d4 plus strength.
5!
5 points of radiant damage. Roll damage.
So
No sneak attack.
D4
for dark.
Hang on, what's
D4 plus dex.
Sorry, no, because it's monk weapon. So
Oh yeah, it'd be D6 plus dex.
13. Double.
On the dice.
No.
Double
Double
the
the dice. So it's 6. 12.
Yeah, 12
Plus strength.
plus strength.
Yeah, 7.
19.
19 points of damage from the chair.
Half because it's not magical to 10.
Foundling got, what was it?
Oh.
8, but non-magical. I know it's not sneak attack, but I do get the extra d6 from the armour.
You
I
do.
think. So 2d6. That's 6.
Nice.
Is 12, and that is magical.
So, as the sacred flames go off around it, it manages to step out of the way of the first one. The second one impacts into it. It's what plans like. The dart fires, thunk, the arrow. The chair whacks into it and it explodes into the chair, tumbling away into chunks.
I walk over to Asher and say,
Good shot!
Good shot!
I'm impressed.
As am I. That
I've
chair
seen-
is so much lighter
I've
than
seen
what I thought it
chairs
was.
thrown before, but they never quite like that.
Just shot by a chair.
surprise! Surprise, bitch!
You're not raging.
Surprise, gent.
Alright, and with that, chesscapades, we are going to take a quick break. Oh dear. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be back in about 15 minutes, so sort yourselves out, and we will see you very shortly. See you in a minute. Old habits die hard, don't they? And we are back. So,
Distances.
having defeated those weirds, what do you do next?
I'm still wondering about the secret door.
Yeah, did the secret door... Was it behind the angel?
No.
There was no door.
There isn't a door at the moment.
Oh, press another button.
Push another button. Which one?
Imagine I'd rolled a 4 on the dice.
Okay. Easiest arrangement is like a diamond pattern.
Right,
They're the ones that are lit up.
So, bottom one.
Bottom one. You push that button. You just say.
Can you please stop pressing things on that control panel?
It just sounds
Nothing
like
good has come from pressing anything on that control panel.
just sounds like whatever you was in there has been switched off.
I switched it off. It's fine. I'll move away from it.
As you move away, the lever goes.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
When you press that button, did it sound like anything actually happened? Or
No, somebody turned off. That's what.
it turned it off.
Turned it off, and it's reset.
I mean, I could try again if you like.
Can't really appreciate it if you did, but Ash would really appreciate it if you did.
And
Connor Buzz is all about pulling the lever and pressing the button.
Trick is noticeably scared enough of Ash, yeah. But yeah, especially at the moment.
But it's a decision. It's a choice.
It's a decision he's making not to do it.
Okay, so where are you guys going to next?
The library.
You step round into the next room, to the library, and much like the TARDIS, it is far bigger on the inside than you would have any right to expect it is in this building. Knowing the dimensions of the the building itself. This goes on far longer than you expect and far wider than you expect. It is the biggest library any of you have ever seen. Apart from you, Trick, you've seen bigger.
Yeah.
Not much bigger.
Not much bigger.
But bigger.
A little bit.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
There are books seemingly on every magical subject here.
Don't even know where to start.
Why are we even in here?
Magic books, that'd be useful.
Fill your boots. Just
I mean, I'm not sure I could get many books in my boots, but
just thinking, you know,
I'd like to have
Valkyrie
a look.
assaulting
See if
the
anything
castle. Erin's
pops my
fighting everything
interest.
outside, and we're reading books.
Make an investigation check. Well, what would be, before you roll, what would define Trick's interest? And I assume Kalatar's going to do the same, so think about this for yourself.
yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
So for Trick, it's things that make him better at the things he does.
Okay.
So anything particularly on enchantment or illusion magic,
Mm-hmm.
or on swiftness,
Mm-hmm.
stealth.
Okay.
Those general areas.
Kalatar? Okay, we'll resolve this then.
Yeah, go with that.
So plus 12. That's a 31.
You go almost unbidden down the third bookshelf on the right. Just making you aware as if you're being guided. Sort of, you feel as if something has weighted your direction on that side. And you go and you start looking around at some of the titles of the books. And a lot of these are written in Elven, but a lot of these are written in Common. And as you're going around, there are numerous books on illusion magics, the uses of illusion magics, and different ways that they've been used as trickery, different advancements of it. There are talks of enchantment magics, which can enhance someone's speed, someone's nimbleness, some of their alacrity, all those different aspects of them. There's also ways of imbuing strength and fortitude and intelligence and wisdom and personality and all those different aspects, and there's all these tomes on how one could improve each of these, as well as ways of binding that magic into items, and perhaps even looking at ways of creating magic. So if there is any types of spells, there are a few books in there that talk about how if there isn't a particular enchantment or magic that exists as the world stands, there are ways of relatively safe experimentation, or in fact rediscovery of old magics. And talks of old enchantment masters that might be available should you wish to explore down those avenues of forgotten magics.
All of this is extremely interesting, but probably not for right now, this moment. If I do spot something about ways of becoming faster, quicker, I might just grab that and put it in my bag.
There is definitely a book that has different enchantments that are available for picking up different paces. You feel particularly drawn to one. You take one, you have a look at it, and it seems to be a manual, some description. Pocket it, put it in your bag.
Yeah.
Kelso?
I want to be. Oh wait. I want to be looking for books about kind of how magic might be used as an assistance.
In what way? As in, like, creating creatures to help you, or like things like Mage Hand?
Yeah,
Or-
things like Mage Hand, how magic can be kind of an aid for completing a task, or how magic could be used as a healing property.
Okay, so looking at healing and potential animation or creation of extra things. Okay, make your investigation check.
Ooh, 26.
26, nice. So looking around, you managed to find a couple of different things that seem to reinforce the book that you found earlier of the creation of golems and animating of them.
I presume I kept that book.
Yeah, I assume you did as well. And how using magic can be used to create this. So it talks about creating tiny servants, just like small mundane creatures that can just, can be used, that can run around and do various bits and things. You also find that there are ways of enchanting into it. There are particular professors and personages that have looked into the creation of golems and homunculi. There are those who have sort of a higher level of that, of creating not just physical representations out of things like flesh and clay and stone, but also creating things out of wood and barrels, all sorts of different other ways of creating this. You do come across a tome or a manual of creation of lesser golem, which I will talk to you about separately, which gives you instructions on creating a lesser golem, not one of the more powerful ones, but creating one that can be used as an assistant. And there is a book that speaks of the duplication of self in the use of magic to create and transfer a part of your own essence and energy into a form that will then take on your own powers. It is very limited because it can only have a certain amount of power that it will then use up its finite resources, but if it is in sense of magical, but if it's of another person, it will keep going for a certain while, and then it can be recast and reformed.
Nice.
So I will just have a quick look at this lesser golem thing, because that actually might be quite interesting for you right now. Just pick a specific one. Roll for me, please, a...
Just got the manual. Maybe the dexterity one. I think it might.
Probably not.
Roll for me a d4.
One.
One. You find a manual of creation of glass golem.
31.
It might be the actual thing, but used.
So, manual of creation of glass golems.
Yes.
Glass golems.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Thunder damage.
Shut
up.
Alright. Asher, you look like you're interested in
I
finding
was
things.
just when if people are walking around anything on like it's not essentially magic, so I'm not sure, but it's a big library. Like battle tactics or being a good leader or anything along those sort of.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna the cantrip one that gives me a D4.
You don't have cantrips.
Or not? I have that one.
You don't. Paladins don't get cantrips.
Oh, that's true. I only have light. Can I send it to that for me?
Sure, you can ask them to have a look. You can ask them to.
Hashtag guide.
What'd you roll? No idea where to even start
Didn't want to
here.
be here in the first place.
Nope. Not a clue.
Yeah, but 4.
Trick and Kalatar, though. As you're all looking, you both suddenly hear a rustle behind you. As it's a paper just sort of moving and coalescing and swirling. Roll initiative.
Just us or everyone?
Just you two.
Unfucking believable.
Was that found then?
No,
No,
sorry,
you.
Trick. I said family, didn't I? I meant Trick. Where is it?
not being used?
Which book is it? This one.
Which book is it?
Holy. Right, big library.
That's fucking pink. That's the thing I chose you for 2 checks in a row.
You chose. Boy.
2 natural ones in a row.
Box them for charging.
No, a box of shame.
Alright, so Keltar, you are down over here. And Foundling, you are up there.
Shame. So I can find something that probably make my colours
Farouk. Oh, I missed someone. Ah, shit, anyway. You're over here, just
pondering.
no idea what to do.
Me?
You're here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll side on.
So just for Trick and Keltar. 25-20? 20-15?
15.
I'm going to make my life easier. I'm going to put everyone else over here. 15. That's family. I keep thinking family. Alright.
11.
11. That, I believe, is slower.
Caffeine got 12.
You weren't supposed to roll initiative.
Was caffeine not supposed to roll?
No, it's just
No,
these
just-
two.
Just Keltar.
At this moment in time.
Works for me.
Uh,
Assuming that natural one doesn't count. Thanks! Take that.
Yeah, I'm going to put Asher at the end of the initiative order just to be on the safe side. And they slot in. There. So, where is my other one? Cool, there it is.
Cool.
And
Da.
as these swarms of paper golems surround you,
Oh, God.
medium swarm, tiny constructs. So, Keltar, you're up first as this paper is slashing around you.
I'm in melee, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's essentially in your space, both of you.
Yeah. I mean, it might work. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Kind of,
Make a dex save.
No, you make a dex save, don't you?
It's around. They're in the same space.
Ooh. I think I've got my own DC.
19?
Yeah. What did Yeah.
What did you get?
Oh, yeah, that's what I've got. D&D Beyond, guys. Yeah, 19.
19, so you succeed as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so the flame just sparks off. Okay, brings us to the paper golems. They are both going to do their whirlwind. So, Keltar and Trick, both of you make a dex save, please.
Of course.
Yes?
8.
Fail.
Yeah.
23.
Success. You take no damage, you take 2.
2.
I rolled 2 ones. Trick.
Ha! I was kind of hoping to take some damage there.
To fade away.
Exactly. I will bonus action disengage.
Okay. From the paper.
I feel like what this move... basically, I'm going to try and disengage and get as far away from them as possible. So I'm picturing this as combat roll into a sprint.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving...
I missed that. Okay, no.
So sort of along that 3, 4, and seeing Keltar with his own paper, I'll jink into that.
This way?
No,
1, 2,
towards,
3, 4, 5, 6.
and I have 12 movement because I can dash as my
As an action. So you're going down this way.
Yes.
Joining the party.
You saying anything?
Paper.
Okay.
Fat.
Cedric would say, "What do you mean?" Of course, there's paper. It's a library.
Paper.
I don't know how paper can be. Kelatar, your turn.
Yeah, okay. I will attempt to blast the paper with Eldritch Power.
Sure, make an attack roll. Disadvantage.
Oh.
2 attack rolls with disadvantage.
Correct.
Okay. Better. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Cool. The other one doesn't.
What did you roll?
2.
Yeah, no.
10. 4. 1 damage.
It is annoyed with this 1 point of damage as you sort of flail around. Take a shot off.
1 page out of it.
Yeah. Alright.
I'm going to run.
Okay, it will get an attack of opportunity.
Fine.
It will paper cut you.
Ow!
What I like is that it's got a. That's cold. It's got a reach specified on here of 0 feet.
So it can only hit you while it is in
You're
your space.
yeah. That is a 13 to hit.
Oh, just hit.
2d6s. For 6 points of slashing damage.
Right.
No, sorry, it's 4d6. My apologies.
Okay, so 6.
Another 7, so
13.
13. I was
Cool.
looking at if the swarm has less than half its hit points, which this one doesn't.
I'm going to run as far as I can. So 13 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. With the rest of the party. So everyone else roll initiative now. In fact, actually, no, we'll do that at the end of this round, then we'll bring everyone else in. So pre-roll the initiative just in, and we'll add it in a moment. So the paper golems are going to. This one's going to swarm after Kelatar, get back in its space because it's. 6. It's going to get up into your space, use dash, just chase you.
Okay, but it can't actually attack me.
No, it's just chasing you. It will use its bonus action to ink blot,
Bless your guidance.
and it will also. The one that's surrounding you, Kelatar, is going to ink blot as its bonus action.
Of course it is.
And it's going to make a paper cut attack.
Go for it.
What's ink blot then?
It applies ink to itself. So Kelatar, you take that's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
So 4d6 of damage. And I need to make a Constitution saving throw. 12 points of slashing damage.
15.
15, you succeed.
Okay.
And 12 points of damage.
12.
Yes. From paper cuts.
Okay, this
Trick.
It's not actually in my space.
No, it is in your space, but I just can't show that on the maps because of the size of your mini base.
Okay, I will, as my action, I'm going to try shocking grasp,
Make an attack roll.
which is plus 8. 13.
Hits.
Cool. So that's
Just grabbing a piece of flying paper is not difficult.
14 lightning damage.
So you reach up, grasp a piece of paper, and it just crumbles into dust.
I will then bonus action disengage
Uh-huh.
and go round the corner towards me
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
and one more.
6.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What's everyone else's initiative rolls?
11.
For
Asher.
which was up to you. You got.
I got 11, but I have better dexterity.
You do.
Foundling got 16.
What did you get, Kelatar?
You got 16, didn't you?
17.
Katrina got 19.
Cedric got 12.
And Farouk got a 6.
Azure, there's someone slower than you.
Hey, look, right? It's not so much of a big thing. I didn't use guidance to. I didn't use guidance to negate the -2 to me, because I actually rolled an 11 and then got a 2 on the d4
When did you have time to cast guidance on yourself?
from Cedric when I didn't use it from looking for a book. Last minute.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I didn't use it because I rolled a 1, so I didn't bother rolling the dice.
Fair enough. Alright, Kafina then.
You can put it as an 8 if you.
I mean, it makes no difference. Also, it would be a 9.
It doesn't matter to anything to me either. Slow as shit.
Kafina.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Schmiggins. She's not in combat with anything. Or
Nope.
can she see anything?
She can see a paper golem that is in front of her. And Kelatar that is surrounded by bees.
Static arc. On the lone piece of paper.
Well, the
Remind me, is that static eye can attack or a dex save?
Save. It's a constitution save of 16.
Constitution?
Constitution.
Cocked. That is a 16.
Makes it so nothing happens.
Nothing happens. That sounds right for Kafina.
Yep, alright. Stay where she is.
Alright. Kelatar. We just need to add a U into your name and you become Kelatar.
Oh, that's what I should do. I should start a Pokemon game and name all the Pokemon after members of the D&D party.
Oh, but there's 7. How would you decide? Oh, there's 6. There are 6.
You.
It's a Snorlax.
Actually, you slam.
Do a thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out.
This is hard.
Kafina sees a centaur. She was hardened.
Tardan. Or Torden.
Indeed. Okay, I'm going to cast Thunderclap.
Okay.
Because.
On the thing that's around you.
Pretty much.
So it's a con save, yes?
Yes.
To you as well.
Yeah.
1.
Natural 20.
I told you not to suck the energy out of my dice.
Told you about that before.
We warned you. Don't make me smite you.
10.
Thunder damage. You watch as a couple of pages just and flutter away.
Guys, could do with a bit of help.
Oh, as the thunderclap goes off, you just suddenly hear over the voice. Shh. Just a disembodied shush from somewhere. Family.
Right.
Tom.
Foundling saw.
Trick run away.
So he will kind of stay where he is, sort of barring the way, and take the dodge action without using.
Okay, just his actions dodge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, brings us to the paper golems. Let's see if he gets.
Does that not trigger the Tomfer? Does it have to be patient defense to trigger the?
No,
AC
if you take
bonus?
I think it's if you take the dodge action. I don't believe.
I don't have the details.
I'm gonna say that if you take the dodge action, that's fine. Alright, so let's see whether it gets its blot back. Yeah. The one around Kelatar does. But that one hasn't used it yet. And then the swarm. Yes. Good. Alright, so. This one's going to go off and whirlwind around Foundling, so it's a dex save with advantage. And the other one is going to make a straight paper cut against Kelatar after using its ink blot. But that's only a 9, so it misses. Woohoo!
24.
Yeah, dodges out of the way easily enough. Just sort of gets the Tomfer whirling in a different direction, just to sort of create wind eddies, and they just can't
Reverse
quite.
the polarity.
You're confusing the polarity. They're both going in different ways. Alright, that ends their turn. Citric.
So I was reversing polarity.
Is that what happens?
Yes. In the musical Return to the Forbidden Planet.
I don't have much nerd cred here, guys.
You're just a DM in a game of Dungeons and Dragons that's been going on for about 2 years.
Almost 3. 3 this Easter.
Was it only 3? I thought it was
This
more.
campaign.
I thought it was 4.
It would be 4 actually, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's a year. It's over a year for this campaign.
I'm going to Chill Touch.
Which one?
Cedric.
You go to Chill Touch Cedric. The one that's attacking Foundling, yeah?
Yeah, because
Make attack roll.
23.
Yes.
2d something.
Do 8.
2d8.
And it can't regain
Hit points.
hit points.
No. Curse that healing paper.
10.
Wouldn't surprise me.
10 points of damage. Alright.
10 points of necro damage.
Just another hand just slashing one piece of paper out of the way.
Cool.
Trick, you're next.
Yeah, that'll do it for now.
Trick.
Right. So Trick will bonus action hide
Stealth check.
up against the bookshelf. 28.
Okay. Hits.
Then
Well,
he,
sorry, stealth.
Then he
Goes
will
hide.
duck out of hiding and shoot the paper.
Make an attack roll with advantage.
Welcome to that road life.
I'm hard. Attack!
Okay. So that's
many
a,
silly things.
it's a 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
They were both 9s.
Roll damage with sneak attack, which you didn't need because Foundling was in. Anyway, never mind. Is it silly damage?
Well,
my God.
3 6s. 24.
Don't mention 3 6s in D&D.
Oh my god.
Don't sunset.
35.
Total?
Yes.
Well, it was 616.
But from my angle, I can only see the 3 6s and a 5. So that's why I was like,
There's a 1 there, a 2 and a 3 as well. But still.
the way it looked from my angle, it was like one of those god rolls where you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I rolled 66 or 60.
You line up the shot, and as it it's all coalesced into a really nice form of they've all come in. You just hit them. You like stapling 8 pages into the bookshelf behind you and destroying another book.
Then I will move back round.
Yeah. There's basically now one piece of paper just sort of flying around. It's folded into the shape of a crane. It's just flying around Foundling's head.
I feel like Foundling at this point could just go.
Probably will. But he didn't do that. So, Asher! Do things.
Do I see this piece of paper?
You see that piece of paper. You also see the ones that are surrounding Kalatar.
I mean, you're
Oh, right, there is one more.
Next to
You're closer to the one that is near Kalatar.
I will seem to get over the top of the paper with a great sword.
Especially as you're probably more likely to get killed.
So 19 on the dice.
To hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hits.
Guillotine.
Not sponsored by the Pokemon Company.
18 points of damage.
You just come one side, just cleave several pages and watch Kalatar go, ah!
23.
Yeah.
Same again.
Swap the other one, just leave 2 slight gouges on the floor where paper used to be. That's it.
I'm like looking at you while doing this, like making a lot of noise over this paper.
He's got small cuts just across his face that's just bleeding slightly.
So much magic. I had a thunderclap, a couple of bolts of energy go, and I've come round and it's paper.
It's done quite a lot of damage to Kalatar.
Frank is going to cast Firebolt at that one that's flying around his
I thought you
head.
said fireball.
Yeah, that will hit with a natural 18 plus 10. I mean, it's got 9 hit points left and I've got 3d10s to play with. I mean...
It's a cantrip, don't get any bonuses to it. I've seen worse roll.
It's true. Yeah, no, one of them's a 10. So yeah, it burns that piece of paper to death. And also, it's paper! It's vulnerable to fire. It burns. It is dead.
Are we done?
Are they all dead?
Yeah, Kevin's all dead.
Okay. Did anyone still have any reading they wanted to do? It says. He's sidling around the bookshelf corner.
Oh, I actually couldn't find anything that would be at least anything interesting to. You find anything fun, interesting,
Not
useful? No. Kelatar, fun, useful, anything?
I
No.
just realised I shouldn't do things like that because it's all going to go.
Found some things that
What, you mean lie?
Yeah.
could be useful in the future. 90 points of healing. No.
We're just done.
I assume you're healing word.
I cast healing word, but put the 9 on the wrong side of the north on the healing box.
Greatest healing word ever. I'm going to die. No.
It's better than heal.
Yeah, I was going to say that's nearly mass heal.
It's probably best than power word heal, which isn't very good.
No.
Oh, it isn't like power word heal, like 50 hit points.
Better off just casting mass heal. I think power word heal. No, power word heal and mass heal came out at the same time, didn't they?
Power word heal is level 9 and mass heal is
Also level 9.
Level 9. But power word heal is or was bard only, so it's much less good.
Oh well, never mind. Right, so now what? Now where are you going? No, you dealt with that minor inconvenience.
Shall we just go up the stairs?
I mean, I don't want to inconvenience you if you want to carry on looking.
I'm feeling some salt.
No. Absolutely not.
Insight check, deception check.
You cannot penetrate this enigma.
22.
I'm definitely salty.
What did you roll, Connor?
Well, I got a 10 on the dice, but it's nowhere near that.
Nope, your deception is not that good. Alright, so you're heading up the stairs?
Oh, fuck's
What now?
Still plus 13.
Cedric is casting healing word.
On you?
Yeah.
You know, we could just have
I
a short
rolled a
rest
1.
while we're in here. If anyone is hurt that much, we could just have a short rest.
I mean, I did take a few.
You know, it's probably better than spending spell slots in this place.
I don't really want to kind of go overboard.
Yeah.
But I also don't
Can
want
we
to.
afford an hour?
We've been walking around in here for half
5
an hour.
minutes. How long have we been in here?
In the library?
Hmm.
About 15 minutes or so. You two making very thorough investigation and you looking at a wall.
It was an interesting one.
It was. You thought
It wasn't. There were many interesting walls. The one I was looking at, just stone.
had no books on it.
Thus, I gained no information other than it's a wall.
Stone's hard.
Stone is hard. I'm hard.
So what are you guys doing?
Do you want a short rest?
Short rest.
Do you want one? Are you in need of one?
I mean, I'm bleeding, but not profusely.
We're having a short rest.
Alright,
I
so
mean, yeah.
roll hit dice if you so wish.
Trick will use some hit dice.
Kalatar, you can
Kalatar
add your
will
song
sing.
of rest.
3.
I was going to say, the only ones that take
I hit
damage.
short rest and I opened up YouTube, so.
What the hell?
Yeah.
This is how to have a short rest.
Yeah. But first, from Omnius Monsters, Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, right, because there was a button that actually said YouTube, right. Makes sense. I accidentally hit the media button.
Did you say 3 for the Song of Rest?
And this is why I chose to get back the barbarian hunts.
Yeah, because you've only got 5 hit dice today.
5 barbarian ones.
Yeah, 5d12s.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking better than I did.
Right. Are you doing anything else whilst you're taking this short rest? Any more research? Looking at the books you've picked up?
I'm not.
No? Okay.
No, I will read further the books that I've found.
Okay.
Various.
You also make a mental note of where that golem section is. for future reference. It's quite interesting.
Fold one of the corners of the pages.
I meant in the library.
Ah, fair enough.
Not like you didn't get a post-it note and just stick it in.
Need to remember Trix regained the one key point he's used.
Useful.
He took patient defense earlier.
Alright, so you're heading upstairs now?
Yeah.
Was the last thing I heard someone say.
Yeah,
Model.
let's go upstairs.
Alright.
Oh, I didn't add your Song of Rest. I was about to say, I'm really pissed off that I rolled 3 hit dice and got up to 140. Maximum was 141.
You added your constitution each time, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you pass the door to the transmutation classroom, you head upstairs. When you're up there, there is, as a reminder, the ladder up to the divination, the door to the conjuration classroom, door to evocation, door to illusion, and door to necromancy.
Better.
What, necromancy?
No. No, remember to add your constitution.
Anyone got anything in particular they want to walk through? See?
Not
observe?
particularly.
I think even I can learn a lesson about too much curiosity.
It kills cats, so I've heard.
So where do we think we
Lots
should
of
head
things kill
first?
Cats.
And there's no more stairs now, is there? There's just that.
Just that ladder.
Just that. It appears we've reached the top.
So there was a beam of light coming from the top of this ladder. To me, it makes sense it would come from the very highest point.
Do it make sense?
That would make
Unfortunately,
great
that
deal
means
sense.
going up another ladder, which didn't go that well last time.
We what?
Yes.
I mean, I broke a bed, but
At the top of the ladder, is it an opening or is it a trapdoor?
It's an opening.
Is it?
No, sorry, well, there is a trapdoor, but it's open.
Ah. How about I take a look, see what's up there.
be our guest.
I will cast
Yeah, I guess.
invisibility on myself.
Put our service to the test. Please do so. Alright, you cast invisibility on yourself and you go up the ladder. Pass up into divination classroom, and it is all the usual expectations of divination magic. There are telescopes, there are crystal balls, there are teacups, there are hands made of plaster which are available for you to look at.
Hands made of plaster.
Yes.
Palm reading.
Yeah, practicing palm reading. What? Why are you giggling at that?
Sorry, when you said the hands made of plaster for you, and I was expecting you to say to purchase in the gift shop.
On your way out. And also, one of those phonology heads.
Yeah. They don't practice retrophonology, do they?
No.
One of those static balls.
No,
Hands on
it's
it.
a Terry Pratchett thing where people believe that if you could hit someone's head with little hammers to give them a certain personality.
Angry
Yeah,
most of the time.
it's
Ow, you hit with a hammer. Bonk. No. As you are in there, though, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it a magical effect?
It is.
Can I do it with advantage then, please? Being a gnome.
Yes.
21.
Ooh, whispers. Seems a bit strange having whispers when there's
Hellforged props, everyone.
Hellforged
I
props.
can't hear a word you're saying.
Is that the real? Is that the right one? Or
That's
is
the right one. No, that is the right. I'm 80% sure that you've called mine that is the right one. And it is made by a lovely person called Kez, and they've been giving us a very good representation on
Indeed.
Twitter lately. I've heard nice and wonderful things.
Indeed.
There's more dice being rolled.
There are. So I
Stop
think.
rolling dice and not telling
Can you shut
me.
up so I can actually
So we try not to listen. We are unfortunately in the wrong place to use such things, but hopefully one day, well maybe not hopefully in some circumstances, hopefully we will be able to use them in the future.
Hi, Kaz. So, yeah, that is what you see up there.
Oh yeah, I know the name. Yeah. Got these things. I'm trendy. I'm hip. I use the internet.
Twitter, Facebook, Google.
I don't see anything creating this light, the beam of light that we saw from outside.
Nope.
Ha. Okay.
Make a perception check out the window. You can look out the windows though.
Yeah, it's a big bay window, and if you just
What-
lean out.
What can we see from below?
You see the hatch, essentially dark into an attic.
Did you say perception check?
Yes.
21.
Okay, 21. Move on telescopes out of the way and go and have a look out the window. See what you can see. You can see sort of the outskirts of a frost of the ice shell that seems to be around the biggest tower behind you. So you can sort of look up and around, and it's essentially behind you, but further over to the left-hand side of the building.
Can I, from that, work out which room it would be coming from?
No, because you don't know the full layout of that side of the building. It's probably coming from the left-hand side of the building, but you don't know whether it's which set of staircase.
Okay.
But you also notice as you sort of pull back from this window, obviously there is the usual Alfheim light. You kind of think, these will make telescopes useless
Mm-hmm.
because of all the natural pollution. But you then notice actually there are constellations dotted around on the ceiling.
Okay. I will go back down.
Mm-hmm.
Still invisible.
You just hear a creak on the ladder.
I point my sword at it.
It's me. Yeah, that tracks. The light's coming from somewhere over there.
Oh,
Over
He's
on
still invisible.
over on
That's a
the
stretch,
side
isn't
of the building with. Well, I can't read the names on the doors, so
I did relay them all.
did you?
Yeah.
Conjuration classroom is on that hand side, as is the laboratory. And the potions, technically, are
So
all on that side.
the laboratory is in the one we were in.
The one
experimental
below you, yeah.
enchantment. So, same side as the experimental enchantments lab we were in, and the potions lab,
Also
and
the
also the conjuration room.
also the evocation and the library.
Also the library, which we've also been in, and the evocation room.
so what bearing do these rooms have on the light? Do we think? Is there a particular source of the light, or
Didn't you say that experimental room had a secret door?
Well, the note on the panel seemed to suggest that. Didn't find out how to access it.
I think it could potentially be a secret door to death,
It could be.
but I might be wrong.
If we're talking about the conjuration and evocation rooms, conjuration is about creating things, summoning things, also moving things. Teleportation is conjuration magic. Evocation is more like elemental manipulation.
Which is pretty much what we have been seeing with all the icing problems.
Yeah, I mean it's ice, it's cold.
Fine.
Yeah. So
You do also know from your various research and the things that Kalatar had learnt previously that ice is very much the fifth layer of hell in relation to that's what's happening, just as a reminder,
yeah.
because it has been a while.
Of course. So the vacation classroom might be a place to look.
Okay.
Or the conjuration room, or we go back to the enchantment lab and try and open the secret door.
I'm all for trying to find a secret door. Every room we've gone into has had something that wasn't very pleasant. At least in that room we know what it is.
I mean, to be fair, most of the rooms on the ground floor seem to be okay.
Apart from that firewall may still be there.
That wasn't on the ground floor. That was by way of the stairs.
Yeah, but we'd have to go
The
back through it.
entrance to the stairs, but
We'd have to go back
on the
through
ground
it.
floor.
We'd have to go back through.
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to the ground.
I'm just arguing the point.
I know.
Trick is an obnoxious kid.
Yeah,
who
okay,
do it
I'll
for
follow.
sometimes.
That tracks.
We'd have to go through that, and we no longer assume nothing would have
Yeah, the wonders the crawl lasts for a while.
a couple of hours.
What should we try first?
I think we go and look for a secret door.
Secret door.
Right, to the enchantment laboratory then.
Into the enchantment laboratory. Head back downstairs, and there is the same setup. The big generator, switches.
So which buttons did you press last time?
Okay, so first I powered it up with lightning and pulled the lever.
Right.
That seemed to charge it, and that made the two ice things
Oh, yeah.
come alive.
Yeah.
And I pressed. Was it? If I pressed on
Two.
2, would that be the left hand
Yes.
of the diamond? And that, I don't know what that did. It seemed to make something go faster.
The fire.
And the bottom button, I know, reset the whole thing.
Okay. Big angelic steampunk man still laying there, I assume.
Crumpled on the floor.
I'm going to disarm it
Okay. How so?
by removing its arms.
Okay, you take his arms off.
Yes.
Okay, you just move the
if you
arm.
Just going to
pieces
move
off.
them away from. Yeah,
Just
disarm.
move the
yeah.
arm the couple of pieces of metal that were his arms and just move them to
Yeah,
one side.
just like move them.
They've cooled enough now for you to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Just
Yeah.
move them to.
I
where
will
they would-
again, you shocking grasp, pull the lever.
Roll damage. All the leather gronk.
I watched that the other day.
So,
I watched that the other day.
no, no, lever! Well, wrong lever.
Damn! Max damage,
And it rolls
16.
by
16.
Okay. Let's
You
try.
watch as the sparks go towards the copper vats with the ice water once was, and nothing happens
Okay.
because there's no water in the mineral.
Let's try pressing the top button.
Push the top button. Nothing happens.
Try the left hand button.
Left hand button, which is the 2.
Yeah.
Seems to speed up.
And the right hand button.
Push the right hand button. A small panel at the top slides to one side, revealing a number. It says 36. No, sorry, 32.
32.
Maybe how hard you have to hit it.
I mean, it could be.
And the lever goes up.
Oh, it resets after that.
No, it's gone. Just the lever's gone back up. Still humming, but the lever's gone back up.
Can I look around the
Does
room
the-
for
Panel stay there though.
Panel's still there, yeah.
look around the room for any indication as to what 32 might mean?
Make an investigation check.
30,
30.
because I rolled a natural 20.
Nice. There is nothing that seems to indicate what 32 might be in the room around. On the panel itself, sort of rub your thumb against where there's a little bit of soot and grime that has built up over time, and it just seems to say %. Just that percentage symbol.
Hit it again.
So put more charge into it.
More juice.
Okay, yeah.
Roll damage.
Not as good. Another. Ooh, 7.
Goes up to 39.
How high do you think we need to get this?
Oh, way, I
You
assume.
reckon 100, but
Can feast static arc it.
Yes, you can.
spam it with
Roll
static arc.
2d6.
2d6, While you're shocking grasping it.
Are you pulling the levers at all? Or are you just or pushing any more buttons?
Won't press any more buttons.
Okay.
10.
Goes up to 49.
And 4.
52. Sorry, 53.
9.
62.
11. 73.
73. The numbers start turning red.
Maybe stopping? I'll try pressing the top button now.
Press the top button. Number goes from 73 down to 36.
Oh,
Where did that power go?
so it halves the power.
Yeah, but where did it go?
You just hear the slow down.
Okay, if I press the one on the left,
Yep.
what happens to the number?
Goes up to 72.
Oh, so it's.
And it goes red?
Goes red, yes.
So which buttons haven't you pressed?
The right one.
That's what I'm
No,
trying
I
to work
pressed
out.
all of them. There are only 4 buttons which...
There are 9 buttons on the system, but only 4 of them are actually connected to anything.
Right, sorry, I couldn't remember if it was 4 or 5.
So,
There's 5 that aren't connected.
So,
the one at the top halves the power. The one on the left doubles
Doubles,
the power.
yeah.
The one on the right, all it did was show that panel that says...
Yeah, and
says,
the one on.
said what?
Said-
that says
said-
the percentage. And the one on the bottom just turned the whole thing off, reset the whole thing.
From when those two were putting charges into it,
Mhm.
what colour was the numbers? As it went up?
It started blue, and then it's gone up to red. Sort of moving through the rainbow.
So up through green.
I said,
then
where
yellow,
was
orange.
green?
Green was around... make a perception check, actually. One was barely imperceivable
21.
changes. 21? Green was around... Yeah, actually, well, just been about 50.
So if we knock it back down to 36,
It's at 36 at the minute, I think.
72, you just pushed it back up.
So if I press
Press
the
it twice.
top button,
Down to
Yeah.
36.
and then put a little bit of charge into it.
so I'll do one more.
Okay.
Shock and grasp. That's 12 more damage.
12 more damage, puts it up to
48.
48.
Then double it. Or not.
No, I would.
It's at green now.
Where's the lever?
upright.
It's upright.
It's up. If we pull the lever now,
Okay, pull the lever.
Pull the lever. Nothing happens.
oh, okay.
But it is sort of at that cusp of blue, light blue green.
Do you want me to snap it on?
So we only need to put a little bit in.
Just a tiny amount?
Yeah. Can you do a tiny amount?
Yeah, of course I can.
Remember, all
Shit!
ones become 2s.
What did you roll?
65, 11.
11. So it goes up to 59. Turns green.
It's in the 50s.
Pull the lever.
Pull the
now.
lever.
Pull the lever.
On the far side of the room, a door appears.
Oh, worked out.
Move quickly.
Yeah.
I would.
It's
Um,
with all haste.
Alright, so let me just find the right notes for this one. It reveals a tight staircase that spirals upwards, which means there's... Oh, this is the stairway that leads up to the mistress study.
You recognise this one.
Now you recognise something.
Well, yeah, it smells of lavender. It's like she has a weird perfume, I don't know.
Right. Okay then. Well, at least we know we're now.
I
on the
feel
right
like during all of this, I've cast spells and stuff, so I'm visible again.
Yeah.
Do many shockings.
I think I will cast invisibility on myself again.
Okay, you turn invisible. Alright. So, marching order please, going upstairs.
I will go and check for traps as I go.
You're going first. Okay, I'll bring you one back.
I think
For me,
Kelatar's feet fell off.
I think Cedric would be better kind of nearer the back to be able to kind of perceive if something is behind us.
Kafina's going to be near the front because she wants it. From Jared, like, last week.
Well, he said she's mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kafina's going second.
So we start any combat.
I
with-
will go directly behind Kafina.
Cedric at the back.
I'll go just in front of Cedric.
So Foundling and Farouk in the middle. Alright. So you're going ahead a couple of, like 10 feet. Right. Cedric would probably cast Pass Without a Trace.
I don't think he's got it prepared.
He has it in his stick.
Was it?
Yeah, it's the Staff of the Woodlands.
Staff of the Woodlands.
I don't think he did.
On command as well.
It is on the Staff of the Woodlands as a thing. It's weird the way that it shows on his spells list. So it's at the bottom of his second level spells.
Oh yeah, so it is. But
So
he's
you're-
also got it as a second level spell.
Yeah, he does. Well, there's an option for druids, but obviously he doesn't need it. Alright, so you make your way.
We're stopping?
Sorry?
Are we stopping?
Yeah, make stealth checks. Plus 10.
No.
Oh, can we go for the plus 10?
Advantage.
With advantage, yes.
Go for the plus 10.
Is it gotten silly?
Yes. yes, it really has actually.
Farouk's on alright after that one with a 23.
But Foundling has disadvantage.
That's because he's died.
15 for Cedric and 25 for Kelatar.
25. I rolled a
For-
17. Oh, I didn't roll for Kafina. That was good.
She rolled.
23 for Kafina.
Okay. Wait to be shamed.
27 for Foundling.
Yes.
And
I think 41.
What did you roll?
Well, hang on. Let me.
It's plus 13 because you've got plus 4
plus
dex.
13 for stealth.
Yeah.
Plus 10. So minus 23 from 41 is an 18. 23 plus 18 is 41.
Yeah. Rogues. You're invisible to gods.
You need to make a new character.
You're just sort of
you're that invisible.
I
dissipated.
feel like I came in here with someone else, but
They're not here
I can't
anymore.
quite put my finger on it.
Barry, what do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, so you make your way up. Make your investigation check as well, looking for traps.
Cocked. No, 15.
15?
You're going to do what you've been searching for all the way through.
I look for room.
Investigation check!
20.
20. Okay, so you looking for traps, you find no traps along your passageway. You do find some runes written.
What? I can't read them though, probably.
You can read them. They're written in your Viking runes. They just say, the headmistress is a bitch.
Is there some graffiti?
It's graffiti in her tower.
Is that Kafina in front? Is she writing that?
Well, she doesn't know you're Vickian, and it's perfect.
You hear Asher laughing stealthily.
Just, it's like, yeah. Exactly.
It's a little snigger.
Yeah, but you make your way up to the room. The door is shut.
I will listen at the door.
Make a perception check.
Crit. 26.
You just hear just a cool breeze blowing.
I think there's a pigeon up
Ooh.
there.
It's an What?
So I get to the top of the stairs and I see a door. So
You see a door?
I'm gonna listen to it.
Is this Kafina?
Make a perception.
Yeah.
Kafina goes up. Make a perception check.
She's listening to the back of Trick's head.
Yeah.
Roll
And
a
just
one.
just here.
Yeah, I can hear someone breathing.
Just here.
No! I can't hear someone breathing.
Because I'm that stealthy.
Yeah, that's stealthy. It's like just nothing there. It's like,
But it's like she feels just the head, and then just suddenly hears a clonk as just accidentally pushes Trick's head into the wood. That's how bad the perception check is.
Ease back, so I'm behind.
Yeah, just
Kafina.
push Kafina out of the way.
No, so I'm behind.
Oh, you just squeeze around. So Kafina is at the front door.
Why am I at the front? Because you said you wanted the mistress. Yeah, but I kind of assumed that Asher would hit her first. Don't worry, so I can steal the kill. Oh.
Reaches up.
Why is she at the front?
Sorry, Garrett.
The biggest betrayal by Trick.
You said you had dibs.
She puts her hand on the door, turns it slowly, and pushes it open. There's nothing there. The room itself is covered in ice and snow.
Oh, lovely. We've reached
Covering
the
the desk, the bookshelves, and the window. The air is bitter and cold, but it does have that faint smell of lavender just pervading the room, just sort of wafts over you, as well as the cold breeze and a slight flurry that just blows over. And there's a metal staircase that leads up the small spiral with a door that looks like it leads up to the top of the tower.
So we've reached the top of the tower, and now we need to go to the top of the tower.
I mean, we went down to get to the enchantment's lab.
True. Yeah.
So this is probably about the same level as the third floor,
Mhm.
where like the
The
conjuration.
Yeah, conjuration.
Yeah.
I'm
fair.
gonna switch places with Kafina before she goes to that door. And then I will stride purposefully out into this bitter cold to be properly struck.
Up the stairs?
I will go upstairs.
Okay, you go up the stairs. And you get to the top. The door is there. Cold to the touch. Cold is just radiating off it now. It's like,
It's radiating off the door.
yeah, it's that cold outside. It's like if you've just got a fridge door that's just pure metal, you can just feel it when it gets cold radiating off it. Or like a really badly insulated window on a blizzardy day. And yes, I said blizzardy.
So I reckon if I touch this door, it's going to do some sort of cold damage.
With your wisdomfulness.
With all my wisdom for.
So much wisdomful. It's not like you to do cold damage, but it just feels it is
It's
going
just
to be
really
cold.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it and it'll be like, licking a lamppost.
No.
I'm stuck to the door. Not again. Open
the
door!
Open the door.
Trapped, isn't it? It's not trapped.
Bear! No!
It's got a bear trap.
It's a pretty good trap, it's just a bear. It opens out into a sheet of ice that expands out 40 feet from the tower.
Bored with the cold now.
It never bothered me.
And you going through? Or you just...
Perception. Is there...
Are you stepping outside before you do this perception check?
No.
Make a perception check then.
I am on the threshold of the door and I've opened it.
Yeah, perception check.
17?
17. You look out the door, not going too far, just walking. You can see the beam of light above you heading towards the town centre. You can see where the other beams of light are coming from. You can see the lighthouse and the light coming from the top of the castle.
Still a potent light?
Yep.
So they've not dealt with
They
that.
haven't. They haven't dealt with it, or the thing hasn't finished yet, or both. It's true.
Well, nowhere else to go but up.
I'm following fairly closely behind Asher.
I step out.
You step out. Do you step
Before
out?
I step out, does it look like it's sturdy?
Yeah, it looks like a.
Yeah, I know.
From the ground.
It's just sheet ice.
It's just splash. No, from the ground, it looked like it was a proper like ice, like a flower has just formed ice and
Okay.
just budded around. So it looks solid.
Continue.
Yeah, you step through it and you die immediately. So you fall through the opening.
I have feather fall if someone will falls.
Just let me fall.
It's my one not in.
No,
Introduce
your
more
character doesn't die by
enchantments.
gravity.
You step out and you look out behind you where the top of the tower is. There's just this circle of ice around the outside of the tower. Looking up like essentially like a daffodil store, as if it, the bulb is just frozen. There is an encapsulation of ice that's just surrounding the very, very top of this tower. And in it, you can see Shea Roywin. Her hands frozen in place, attached to a purple crystal pulsing with energy that is throwing the light out and throwing it towards the centre, and she is concentrating fervently on it. And you can just see her chanting. Her head turns slightly and sees you. You just hear a voice in your head that says, "Well, well. I'm surprised you made it this far. I'm sorry to say it's for naught. He will rise soon." That's what we're going to pick up next week.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, what, because it's 25 past 10? Also because it's a good moment to stop on. But yeah, this is going to be a moment where we have everyone back for, probably.
No.
Nope.
Everyone important back.
Wow.
Everyone who isn't here, well, apart from Connor. I mean,
I'm always fucking here.
I know, right? Apart from the times when you're not.
I've planned holidays around D&D, dude.
Yeah, I know you have.
Actual holidays. And people have gone, why don't we just stay until Friday? I'm like, cuz!
Because I've got to be back on Fridays.
Commitments, man, commitments.
Yeah. So, thank you guys very much for joining us on this little puzzle quest that we had going on, and the various bits and pieces that we have come across. We shall pick that up and see where this trail leads us next time. So, until then, thank you very much for joining us. Survive until Friday. Have a good week.
Later.
Bye, everyone. And stop streaming.